Welcome to another very unusual round of Spudventures. And this time we're handing it over to Space Jawa, if you'll take it away.
All right, so just a brief introduction for because we're using a system that's called All Out of Bubblegum, which most people will probably never heard of. So here's just a brief overview, so those listening aren't completely out of the loop. In short, it's based around the classic saying, "I'm here to kick butt and chew bubblegum, and I'm all out of bubblegum." Each player has one stat, bubblegum, and every player starts out with 8 pieces of bubblegum. When faced with a notable challenge, players will decide if they're going to try to solve the problem in a way that's mundane or in a way that kicks butt. Then they'll roll a 10-sided die and what kind of
Psst,
action they're doing.
Jawa, you can say
Yes?
ass.
Well, yes, I know I can.
Okay, just wanted to make sure.
Yes.
He's just genteel that way.
Yes. Plus, the setting is an 80s 90s Saturday morning cartoon, so
All right then.
Anyway, yes, when faced with a notable challenge, players will decide if they're going to try to solve the problem in a way that's mundane or a way that kicks butt. Then they'll roll a 10-sided die and what kind of action they're doing and what kind of action they're doing. And what determines the result is whether they roll above or below their current bubblegum count. So hopefully with that, the rest will become clear enough that everyone will follow along. So anyways, yes, I will be your showrunner for this session, and let's get started. In a world not unlike our own, there exists a modestly sized company known as Spud Productions. In this alternate world of fantasy and unrealism, Spud Productions is currently best known for the Spud cinematic universe, including the recent hit crossover team-up movie World of Lightning. While Spud Productions is currently best known for its cinematic universe, it would be a mistake to assume that this is all the company has ever produced. And with the recent success of the SCU, there has been an uptick in attention to other projects from the company's history. Among them, a Saturday morning cartoon series from the late 80s and early 90s, Agents of Central Operations United Ranger Squad Elite, or as it was properly known and almost universally referred to, Agents of Course. Like many of its fellow Saturday morning cartoon series, Agents of Course was essentially designed as a 30-minute TV commercial. After all, to paraphrase the immortal words of the great Mel Brooks, merchandising, it's where the real money is made. That's not to say that the show didn't have its redeeming qualities. While having fallen by the wayside since going off the air, the show still maintains a small but loyal fan base who continue to enjoy it all these years later. And so today, we will be taking a look back through the Spud production archives to see one of the show's classic fan favorite episodes, the season 3 finale, The Unthinkable Plot of Dr. Conquest. So, as is the case with many of these shows, it opens with a theme song. There's no lyrics to begin. You have music playing, dun 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 dun, and while this is going, you have silhouettes of major villains from the series overlooking the planet, preparing to do it harm. And it's quickly followed by a military officer who looks up at the warning signal and presses a big red button with the Course logo on it. Red lights flash as sirens blare, ring, 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 to summon our heroes, who are introduced one by one. In turn, they are Mignonne White, or Miggy, played by Xencarn.
Hi.
Sergei Romanova, played here by Winged Cat.
Da!
Spencer Rodriguez, played here by Newbiespud. Richard Montgomery III, or Monty, as played by Azure Mountain.
Of course.
and Mr. Grandpa or Old Reliable, Heinrich Mayer himself, played by Sani.
Servus.
And with our heroes introduced, they spring into action to defeat the villains and save the world as the theme song continues, and lyrics are actually come in, which are kind of a chanting thing. When the world is in trouble and in need of saving from evil villains who are misbehaving, call the ultimate elite team to ruin those evil doers' schemes. Dun, 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 dun. They're the agents, of course. Agents, of course. The agents, of course. Dun 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 dun.
Nearly had a rap intro there.
Anyway,
which would have been
yes,
especially.
with that, the heroes are shown in their heroic pose, and the title is above them, and it fades to black and gets us into the actual episode proper. So, as is common with these episodes, it opens with a scenic view outside Course headquarters, which, as Course was founded by and is run by the United Nations, it's located atop the Central United Nation headquarters in New York City. The base itself looks like a large version of the Course symbol. So, now we cut to inside the headquarters where we observe the Course agents as they go about their lives on this wonderful day where certainly nothing bad could possibly happen. So, anyone want to get started in what their characters are doing on this average, normal day with nothing bad happening?
Sure. Heinrich, his big sword is always carried on his hip, is sitting in the cafeteria and complaining loudly how people here in America just won't be serving him what he wants for breakfast. Just grumbling about the good grub back home.
I guess as the sole American, I have to be there then, arguing with you.
That sounds
And
like a very...
I'm there as well, leaning against a wall, watching it go on.
Okay, so what is this argument that's happening between the leader and the big guy?
Yeah, what exactly is your problem here, old man?
The sausages are just way too cooked. They're not cooked. They're just they're roasted. They're grilled. That's not for breakfast. And where's the bread roast? Those, and Heinrich takes one, squishes it. Those are way too soft. Do you expect me to just suck on them to eat them?
It's a classic Southern breakfast. It's biscuits, gravy, sausage, bacon, eggs. Come on, man. It's all the protein you need to get through a hard day.
Fortunately for you, old man, they don't boil their sausages in the blood of their enemies here.
Oh man, now you just make me remember that you guys don't have blood sausages either. Gah!
I'll concede that point, honestly. There is one perk. If there's one perk to joining this organization, it's been sampling a worldwide cuisine. But I'm not going to have you impugn the dignity of this breakfast. In fact, if you're not going to have it, I will.
Sure, take it, and I just pushes it gently over to the American.
And I just grab a biscuit, dip it in the gravy, pile on some sausage, and then just mash it into my mouth. Just being extra messy about it just to piss him off. Several people are typing.
Okay, so
at which time Sergei comes in off screen. It is just as I predicted. The table, exactly as I suspected. Sergei, you have not yet had your breakfast.
You talking to yourself?
Sorry, yeah. Heinrich, you have not yet had your breakfast,
I had some of it.
Sergei produces a plate with a single blood sausage. Here. From the home.
That will do. That will do. He just takes it and just takes the sausage and just bites a bit off.
Sergei then sits down with a meal that he has rather clearly just cooked for himself with a little extra and starts digging in.
All right, I guess I enter next. Is it like a buffet style, like breakfast thing?
I think it's like a cafeteria style.
I was, oh yeah, I was imagining a bit like a college cafeteria.
Oh my god, like yay! So yeah, Miggy's just gonna walk in, get us some toast, sort of turn to you guys, and turn to Sergei, and just be like, "Oh my god, I cannot believe you're eating that much meat for breakfast. It is not good for your figure."
It's good for your muscles, lady.
Yeah.
If you say so. I'll just stick with my toast, thank you very much.
Do you think I'd bring the Germans back to Germany on a breakfast of toast?
I would hope so. Ugh, couldn't imagine eating something like that this early in the day.
I seriously don't know how you survive each day with eating basically nothing.
Well, I've got to keep my figure somehow, don't I?
That's what the workout is for.
Well, yeah, that is true. I mean, I could add an extra slice, but it's Wednesday and I don't want it to go to my head, if you know what I mean.
I have no idea what you mean.
Oh, don't worry about it. You will.
But just eat more meat, and we'll go for a practice run later. You sure could work a bit more on your hand-to-hand combat, I'm sure.
Ugh, I might chip something. No, thank you.
Speaking of training, this has been fun, but I'm going to head down to the shooting range.
Okay, on that note, before you manage to go off, that is when you are all interrupted when shock, the alert siren blares, signaling that you are all needed. Over the base intercom, you hear the voice of the Central Agency Robot for Operations and Logistics, or Carol, call you over the base intercom. All agents report to Command Center immediately. I repeat, all agents report to the Command Center immediately.
So first up, Heinrich is going to complain like, what's it this time? And then I assume we could just have the tables turn into like a sliding pole to get to the operation center.
Well, maybe now I can get some better training than just stationary targets.
Yes, the command center is a different room in the headquarters. So
why should that stop us?
I was imagining it like a full-on cartoon logic, like the floor underneath the table flips open and the pole that holding up the table is now a sliding pole, like for the firefighters.
I just walk.
No, but you are able to have, a cool actionized sequence of you rushing to the command center if you'd all like.
There's something extremely appealing about just like all the cafeteria chairs just like lowering into the floor and like dumping us onto a slide that takes us to the command center or something, just really ridiculous like that.
Yeah, like super cartoony logic.
I just walk and somehow arrive at the same time as everyone else.
That works too.
So does Sergei. It's just, and he's actually watching his watch deliberately to make a point of, yeah, this took as much time.
Okay, so when you do get there, you come into another big, impressive room that on one end it's got a impressive hologram display what it's needed, and then there's a giant meeting table that's in front of an enormous TV screen. You also see Carol there. She's waiting for you next to the TV. And when you're all seated and ready, the screen turns on to reveal the director, of course, General Reason, who notably is the same guy from the themes tune who pressed the big red button to send you all into action.
General, what's the pleasure today?
We have a situation on our hands.
Sorry. Go on.
It appears that our arch nemesis and the world's #1 most wanted fugitive, Dr. Conquest, has returned. We just received a recording from him. It's a threatening message. And seems as though he's up to no good, as he always is. So then he reaches
Not
off
again.
screen and presses a button, and then you get a video showing the Dr. Conquest. And he basically resembles a cross between your classic mad scientist and your classic evil military dictator. So he's just, you can tell just by looking at him, he's an evil villain. So, anyways, the pre-recording message plays. Hello, course. Allow me to address the elephant in the room. Yes, it is I, Dr. Conquest. For soon I shall achieve a victory the likes of which the world has never known. And when I do, I shall establish a reign over this planet as eternal as the pyramids themselves. So assured I am of my victory that I am sending you this video to show that even with fair warning, I cannot be stopped. I'm certain that you shall try, of course, in your denial of my genius. How hard it must be for you to be heroes who can never change their stripes and accept the ultimate futility of your never-ending fight. Prepare yourselves if you can, heroes. And then the video cuts off back to General Reason. He's pressing a button. The video goes on for several more minutes, but it's just more of him laughing evilly like that.
Java, could I cut in and have Heinrich just go and try to respond to Dr. Conquest before the video cuts out, completely ignoring that it's completely missing the point that it's like recording another live chat?
Yes, what does he say?
We fell, the Third Reich fell, the British Empire fell. You'll not last either.
Okay. Anyone else want to respond to the video?
Yeah, so my internet cut out and I missed all of that. So I'm just going to say I wasn't paying attention and was cleaning my gun.
Yeah,
Yes,
Miggy's gonna stare at the screen and wrinkle her nose and just be like, oh my god, I cannot believe he's still wearing that lab coat. It was so last year. Don't you agree, guys? Come on.
Yeah, maybe you should complete some conquest on fashion.
I mean, he could at least add
Right.
armor plating.
Not only is he wearing the lab coat, he's still wearing the prison that we put him in. He didn't bother to escape. He recruited the prison.
Is he
Oh my
bald?
god, so true.
He's balding, but most of the time he doesn't show up because he's wearing like an evil dictator's hat.
Amazing that his jaw is still intact after I punched him.
You should try to reconquer his hair.
I mean, his arm is still there, and this Heinrich pets his swords. So I guess he's just a mad scientist with access to good prosthetics.
Anyway, okay, is there anything else, sir? Okay, so then yes, General Reason continues. We're not sure what he's planning, but it definitely can't be anything good. Your mission, agents, is to figure out what he's doing and to stop it. Good luck, agents. I know we can count on you. Then he reaches off and presses a button and the video screen goes black again.
You heard the man. He just begins and says, so, anyone has an idea where we could find him?
Well, I suppose we start with where we left him last time and work our way from there.
He will not be there. But I did mention he recruited his prison, duh? I left a tracking beacon there. As Sergei leans forward, begins tapping on the console, bringing up the tracking beacon.
Okay, so you're trying to use a tracking beacon to figure out where he might be?
A tracking beacon that was left in his prison that may or may not have been detected and thrown out, but it's as good a place to start as any.
Okay, this looks like something that you would roll for. How are you are you gonna make this are you gonna try and be awesome about this or make it a mundane thing?
It's a mundane thing. It's, oh yeah, he's done this before, he'll do it again. Here, let me just slap this on in expectation that he'll do exactly this kind of thing.
Okay, so give me a roll. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Your attempt to figure out where he is and what he's up to via that tracking device, it turns out that tracking device, you're not getting any signal from it at all.
Huh. It would seem that he saw this coming. Actually, is there any chance that the tracking beacon may have been planted right back?
Right back.
You got cut off.
Like back where it was.
No, back here, right where we are now.
No, there's just, you can't pick up any, you're not picking up any signal
Okay.
from the beacon at all.
I was just thinking of a more dramatic failure.
Like picking up a signal. It's right here, right in my seat, and you look at its beep, beep, beep because you found the one you didn't actually plan.
Well, it would be coming from Heinrich in this case.
All right, well, let's start with known associates then. Who does he usually work with when he's, in a world-conquering mood?
Well, it's funny you should mention that, because he actually, you know of, aside from his regular goons, he has 4 regular notable minions. They are, in order, Commander Shuriken, which is his right-hand man. He's sort of a serious kung fu ninja type. There's Lieutenant Gregory Yemovich, who is he's a big burly muscly dude, and he's actually a genuine supervillain in his own right. He's got this nasty power where he can inhabit and take over machines or animals that are less intelligent than him. There's Lieutenant Brainstorm, who is another scientist who's kind of like a lab assistant to Dr. Conquest. And then there is Miss Slaywell, who is Dr. Conquest's personal secretary and assistant, but she's more dangerous than she appears.
Do we have known or recent locations on the henchmen?
Well, you can look that up. That'd be something you'd have to research right now.
All right.
I'll just roll a mundane thing for my wealthy connections and all that.
Okay.
That's failure.
Wow.
Well, can Heinrich call up all the guys he met through his very long military career if anyone has a...
Okay, so you're going to try and figure out if there's any information based on your contacts.
Yeah, like any old pal that's willing to share some military intel.
All right, so that's a mundane roll you're making.
That doesn't look like the right roll.
Yeah, it looks like you made
That's 1D10, not 1D.
Okay.
There we go.
Yes, you have yes. By getting in touch with your contacts, you are able to figure out that there is some kind of operation going on that appears to be run by Dr. Conquest's organization. It is actually happening in the African savannah, and they think it might be some sort of best they can tell, by all appearances, it is some kind of poaching operation, major, that he's set up. Now, they're not entirely sure what's going on, but it's...
Oh god, the elephant in the room.
Ah.
Was für ein schlechtes Wortspiel. Heinrich mumbles before he's saying, "So, Africa, haven't been there in a while."
No, it's been a few years myself.
Yeah, I haven't been there since the last mission.
I am already preparing to jet.
All right, so yes, I will have... Carol, she speaks up. I will have the command jet ready for you when you are ready to depart.
You guys take the carrier. I'll go ahead and scout ahead in my jet.
Well, there's a command jet that you guys have in your Horse headquarters hangar. So, is there anything else you want to do, or do you want to move on to getting ready and heading out.
I need to get my safari hat, but apart from that, I'm ready to go.
Heinrich just pats him, he pats his pants down, checking if he has a key for his transforming car, making sure that his sword is well oiled and secured in its scabbard, and then just makes his way to the hangar at a decent enough pace.
All right. Well,
I gather a pack of survival supplies and whatnot. Should the worst happen, we have to rough it out in the savannah.
Sergei makes sure the group's vehicles are loaded, make sure he gets his rifle, and then heads on over.
I was already checking my weapon during the video, so I just go to my jet.
Okay.
Stealth.
So
fist.
yeah, you then there's the whatever they make out of it for actionizing your movement to the command jet. There's a couple shots of
It's basically a loadout montage.
Yeah, loadout montage, suiting up, getting ready, showing off their stuff, their gear, their command jet, launching off, all to make this stuff look more appealing for when they have the products out in stores.
I take a look at my pocket watch before setting off.
Bandage up my fists.
Heinrich probably gives his sword a few practice swing on the way in an empty corridor.
All right, so then you all launch off, and Monty, he's flying ahead then?
Yep, because I got a stealth jet.
Okay, so yeah, you fly over, and this being a Saturday morning cartoon with, sci-fi technology, it doesn't take you long to get over there, and
like one commercial break?
I don't know if we're at the first commercial break yet. Unless there's like 6 in this block.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, it seems like there probably would be.
Yeah, actually, now that you mention it.
Okay, so yes, that's when they launch off and then cut to commercial break, and they'll come back and they'll be flying on their way. So Monty is then flying ahead for recon then?
Yeah, would that be mundane or the other one?
It depends on how you want to do it.
Probably just long-range scanners. Or do we already know where they are?
You've got a general idea of where it is.
All right.
Yeah, the information that it was Heinrich who used his contacts to figure out what's going on.
Yeah. By the way, rules confirmation, just so it's said in the log. So Sergei and Monty are down to 7 bubblegum now from the starting of 8, because each of them had a failure. Everybody's still at 8. Everybody else is at 8, right?
I believe so.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, failure means you lose a stick of bubblegum.
Okay.
Right. Just for the benefit of anyone listening who hasn't read the rules.
All right.
And I'm actually going to...
It's a one-page set of rules, and I showed a bit of it on the stream.
Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and just sacrifice the bubblegum to auto-succeed here.
Okay.
Now I'm down to 6. But I succeed.
All right. So after a bit of flying around and with scanning information, combined with what you got from your leader's intel, you're able to find where this location is happening. And yeah, it's like out in the middle of the African savannah, and it's like a heavily fortified military outpost with evil looking walls set up. It's got a bunch of Dr. Conquest's robo mercs, patrolling and running operations, and those are robo mercs are the robotic minions that Dr. Conquest used as his regular soldiers and all that. And notably, off to one side, taking up a large section, are a whole bunch of cages, a lot of them with like a veritable zoo of wild African animals that they have already taken prisoner, captured for, no doubt, evil and devious purposes.
Are there any hills nearby, or is it just a flat plain?
Well, this is the African savannah. I mean, that's usually pretty flat, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just a wide open space with this evil-looking outpost in the middle of it.
So is Monty relaying this back to the rest of the group?
Yeah.
Can he actually?
Yeah, you can
Uh.
relay it back to the rest of the team.
I'm sending visuals.
Well, in this case, Heinrich's just gonna go, turns to the rest of. We're gonna have to parachute into there.
God, I can't believe he's just leaving them in cages out in this kind of heat. That's just monstrous. I mean, I knew he was evil, but that's just evil, if you know what I mean.
If I might
With
make a
With
suggestion,
a capital E.
Go
if
on.
I might make a suggestion, not everyone here is outfitted for a hard jump like this. Let me drop down first, secure a landing zone, and maybe see if I can gain some intel through infiltration.
I'll go ahead and set down a ways off as well. Cover you from long range.
Who's piloting the command jet?
Autopilot.
Well, who's the pilot?
Just a pilot,
It's just a
not a
employee
main character.
Just
of
a random
course.
agent.
It's not just an AI doing it.
Actually,
That's
fair,
Agent
yeah.
55 according to the credits.
All right, set down sometime some distance away. Let us bring our vehicles. Speed assault may be necessary.
That's just an open plane. They will gun us down before we come close, even anywhere close.
That is why we assault by the ground, not air.
No. When we assault from the air, we just drop down before they can take.
That's assuming they don't have any anti-air guns.
That's why I'm saying you drop me in there first. I help open up the defenses, then you roll in with the vehicle squad.
Sounds like a plan.
I'm gonna set down in some tall grass a ways away.
Just hide the plane in the tall grass. That'll work.
Yep. It's also gonna be my sniping position.
Snipe the giant walled fortress from the tall grass. That'll do it. On
There
the
are
savannah.
robots patrolling.
So are you planning to hide the plane in tall grass where you're still in view of the enemy base?
I mean, Monty has a stealth jet. That's a stealthy action.
Okay, fair.
Yeah.
Well, I mean the stealth jet. What about the command jet, or who's park? Oh, wait, you're
That's-
parking the. Okay.
I'm in the stealth jet.
The command jet parks over the horizon.
Okay.
Yeah, they're all far away. They got cars.
Still, if you're parking in the tall grass, I'm still gonna need that to be I'm still gonna need you to roll for that.
All right. And this is gonna help me set up into a sniping position as well. So can we say that's related to
I mean, you can do this all as one roll. Are you making it
6.
Are you making it? Well, you didn't say what kind. I mean,
Yeah, I know.
are you doing it as a mundane or?
It sounded like
I'll
one
leave
movie
that
to
up
me.
to you. Because I already rolled. So that's up to you.
I'd call that mundane from the description.
Yeah, it does sound like a mundane thing.
Not
so
particularly kick-ass.
yeah.
All right.
Okay,
So
yes,
just
you're
barely
at-
succeeded.
Yes, you just
I'm at
barely
6 right now.
succeed. You tie with your current bubblegum count. So on mundane, that succeeds.
All right. So now I just have a position out overlooking the base.
Yep,
Oh,
you
well,
have
a
view
wall
of
of the base.
A wall of the base, the main entrance.
Yes, you can
with
see the
the
base
guards
from where
patrolling.
you are. So who's doing what now?
I think I'm parachuting in.
Yeah.
So how are you? Are you parachute? So you're parachuting into the base or next to the base or?
Yeah, just trying to trying to do a stealth insertion as much as I can, or a very rapid insertion.
Okay, and where are you trying to land?
Ideally trying to land on sort of the outer ramparts of the wall.
Okay, so are you trying to do this like being kicking, like trying to be awesome with the way you're doing this?
Yeah, I am. I'm gonna try to just like open my parachute at the last possible second. Like realistically, I wouldn't have enough time to decelerate, but
This
like
being a
just right above the
cartoon.
base, and then like land on a dude before he can
Okay,
shout for help.
so make a roll for that.
Oh, it's equal to, isn't it? Ah,
Yeah, you
I have 8
fail.
sticks of bubblegum.
Yes, you lose a stick of bubblegum, and well, your landing doesn't go quite as planned. Someone happens to notice as you're coming down, and they open fire. While they don't hit you, they do damage your parachute, and you wind up landing smack dab in the middle of the base.
Oh my.
Well, that went about as well as expected.
Well, how badly am I surrounded?
Well, they're still a bit scattered and trying to figure out what's going on. They know there's someone in the base, but it's not a case of where everyone has eyes on you yet. So,
All right, then I need to rush towards the gate defenses and look for some kind of deactivation or some.
And I'll
Okay.
go ahead and start picking off the ones that I can see.
okay, so first, Newbiespud trying to get out of there, and so make a are you doing that in a relatively mundane fashion?
No, I'm doing that in a awesome fashion by just sprinting at top speed and like jump kicking anyone who happens to cross my path.
Dodge roll,
Oh,
dodge roll, dodge roll,
okay.
dodge roll.
Yeah, dodge rolling too if anyone shoots at me.
Okay, make a roll for that.
Oh no.
Okay, so yes, you try to rush, and I mean you're doing all this awesome, moving and kicking, but it isn't very long before the weapons fire becomes too heavy, and you have to start pulling back to cover, and just
I got a bunker down somewhere, yeah.
Yeah, but just before you're able to get all the way to safety, you get clotheslined and you're knocked off your feet and on your back. And when you look up, you see the familiar face of Lieutenant Yemovich, who's looking down at you with an evil grin.
Remind me of this guy again?
He is
the big guy supervillain.
He's the guy. He's the guy that Yeah, he's the guy that serves as Dr. Conquest's primary muscle, and he has genuine super villain powers where he can take over, machines or animals that are less intelligent than him.
Ah, okay. I
Okay.
spring back onto my feet when
Okay.
possible.
Well, before we go back to
Monty.
it was Monty, who was looking to snipe at them.
Yep. This is a badassery roll.
Okay, you're shooting it. Okay, yes, and
just any of the patrolling guards that I can see from my position.
And you were saying you were doing that in an awesome way?
I mean, of course.
Okay. Yes, that's a 10. That's definitely a success. You're looking and you fire a couple shots, but then you take a look and you notice like what you're pretty sure is like something that looks particularly explosive. You fire on that and there's a big explosion that blows up an entire corner of the base wall. So there's fire, there's metal flying everywhere, there are robo-mercs that are getting thrown into the air in a particularly awesome way.
Nice. Looks like we got our insertion point.
Yeah.
Yes, it is a very big flaming, very big and flaming insertion point that is wide open.
Looks like it's your turn, Gramps.
Yeah.
Mm,
Okay. So, are the other three Heinrich, Sergei, and Miggy, are you doing anything at this point?
yeah, Heinrich is just as the pilot is trying to touch down. Heinrich is already starting his car as with a pedal to the metal, going towards that big explosion he just heard. Shouting loud as he drives there, he shouts out, "I am driving closer!" And as he reaches the hole, he triggers the transformation sequence of his car to turn into this mechanized knight's armor. And before bellowing, "I'm gonna hit you all with my sword."
Okay, so that sounds like a very awesome insertion. How are you? So make a roll for that. An awesome roll. Wow, yes, you pull that off perfectly, complete with a super heroic landing that causes just a minor shockwave when you land on the ground, sending back a bunch of robo-mercs in pieces.
Sergei takes full advantage of this distraction to drive in hovercraft and just blip into another corner of the of base while everybody's looking at this big insurgent threat. Still
Okay.
mundane.
All right, make me a mundane roll. Okay, yes, you pull that off. Nobody has any idea that Sergei has entered the base.
Even the fans have to look frame by frame to see, oh, that's where Sergei got into the base. Because, of course, later, now he's behind enemy lines, and nobody knows.
Yes.
Nice.
So that. Okay. So what is Miggy up to then?
I'm assuming that's like, I don't know, we would know generally what's going on through, I don't know, cameras or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
I
Cool.
assume we also have comms.
Well,
You have comms, you have a general sense of what's going on.
Cool. So Miggy's gonna suit up, turn her, her pink convertible into Kanga, the giant kangaroo robot, and just be like, "Don't worry, like it's gonna be okay, Spectre. We're totally gonna come get you." And she's just gonna hit the base like a wrecking ball. Well, attempt to. It's Miggy, so this is gonna fail miserably.
So are you doing this are you trying to be awesome about this or?
Oh yeah.
Okay, give me a roll.
6, so I fail that miserably.
Yes, you fail. You come barreling in through, but you start to get off balance as some of the enemies turn their weapons fire on you, and you try and come up on Lieutenant Yemovich, and he swings and he dodges out of the way. But still, while he's doing that, he's able to swipe with his arm to knock Miggy just a little bit senseless, and so her kangaroo kind of rolls over and kind of rolls till it lands up in a heap against the other wall.
No, don't worry. We're gonna come get you, I promise.
Okay, so notably that distracts Lieutenant Yemovich from where he was focused on Rodriguez. What are you going to do now?
I shout to Miggy, "It's Spencer for the last time," and get up and take a running punch at Lieutenant what's his name?
At Lieutenant Yemovich.
Yemovich, yes.
Yes, he is notably
Just right hook across the jumping right hook.
Is that mundane fashion?
Well, why would it be mundane?
Okay, you're doing this awesomely.
Honestly, you probably should do some mundane to help with your later
No.
on. But, all right.
He just no sells it. Crap.
Can I at this point have Heinrich
No.
charge over to Spencer to set up a back-to-back badass?
Well, I mean, first, Yes, Spencer, he swings at Yemovich, but Yemovich reaches out. He actually catches the punch. Then he looks at you. You think you are. And he says, "Huh, it will not be that easy, no?" And then he swings and counterpunches Spencer in the face.
Wait, hold
Ow.
on. How many bubblegum is Spud at?
I'm now at
Is that
5.
6 now? 5?
Are
Okay.
you 5?
Yeah, that was
Did you
at
fail
6.
thrice?
Yeah, that was 1, 2, and 3.
Oh.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, he punches Spencer away. So what was Heinrich doing?
Yeah, I was just gonna slowly, methodically, in a very casual fashion, just slicing through rubber mooks to walk over to Spencer to set up a back the next couple more.
Sorry,
And
what
I'll be
was that?
taking out the ones that he misses.
Okay. So while this is going on, while you're approaching and slicing through them, suddenly Heinrich's sword strikes against another sword, and deflected by another sword, and you find yourself looking at the face of Commander Shurken.
And Heinrich is gonna say, Commander Shuriken!
Heinrich Meyer, we meet again.
Oh, this
Yes,
is...
I will prove once and for all that the European's longsword is better than your fancy little katana.
Oh, the flame wars. This started in the early days of the internet.
Okay, so are you? So then yeah, Heinrich is yeah, you're okay. Yeah, you say that to him, and then
Epic sword duel, right?
yes, epic sword duel.
Can we have a mundane sword duel instead?
What would be the fun of that?
One cut wins. Go.
No, it's just very, very technical. Just
Yeah, it wasn't seeing like a scene where they square off for a few moments, changing poses, and then just 2 strokes exchanged, and one falls and one goes to the.
Oh, you. What was
Very
that?
calm.
Sorry, I didn't get that.
Like, I was imagining it going like they set up their stances, changing them up a couple of times before exchanging 3-4 blows, one of them going to their knees, to provide a moment of relative calm in this action-loaded.
Okay, so you're dueling him in an awesome fashion.
I was more aiming for mundane, but sure.
Okay, no, I mean no. If you want to do mundane, I can. Yeah, okay. Then make a mundane roll. Okay, so yes, you go at him. The 2 are swinging the swords, but it doesn't take much for you to start, beating him back, especially since you're using the mech suit, and he's basically fighting you, just a normal sword as, a very skilled, very strong man, but you're beating him back. Hello? Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Heinrich as Heinrich just saying, see, even an old man like me can beat someone like you.
Not, yes, but clearly not without your advanced. Clearly not without the help of your advanced technology.
Do you really take pride in beating up an old, helpless man?
Helpless and nothing. Okay, so then we also, Winged Cat, you were having Sergei doing something then?
Yeah, so whilst this is all going on, the Sergei is still only visible in like background shots here and there. He's pulled up to the base's main computer, You said these were robo-mooks? Let's have some... Can we have some mundane hacking roll?
Well, so you're trying to sneak into the... So you're trying to get to the base main headquarters?
I already did sneak in. That was my last roll. Now I'm trying to hack in and take over the mooks.
Okay, all right, you can try and do so you're trying to hack to take them over?
Yeah.
Give me you can do a mundane roll to try and do something along
4 out of 7.
Okay, so you hack and you gain access to a control system that is directing these things, and you manage to get them to suddenly freeze up and slow down. So they're not posing much of a threat right now.
Sergei calls out, "Mooks offline!"
Okay, but then you have someone else who shows up, Lieutenant Brainstorm, who says, Get away from there! Stop messing with those things!" And he fires a weapon at you.
Still in the hovercraft, bailing out of there, hoping the weapon takes out the computer now that the mooks are frozen.
Are you doing that as a mundane or awesome?
It's a mundane as possible of, okay, the mooks are in a stalled state, someone's firing at me, okay, just drive. Linear evade.
Okay, then make a mundane roll. Okay, yes, you managed to pull that off, and he shoots the computer that you were hacking into. No! He yells out in big, "No! Look what you've made me do!"
So, amending previous call, Sergei calls out, "Mooks offline, but that's all I could do."
Then he rushes back. He rushes back out of sight. You're not sure what, but it's probably not to do anything good.
So, hearing that the robos are offline, Monty's gonna help out Spencer and focus fire on Dr. Yamovich.
Well, are you still in your sniping position?
I mean, there's a big hole in the wall.
Right, but it wouldn't necessarily have line of sight to where this fight is happening.
Yeah. I guess then I'll just move closer.
Okay. I think we haven't touched on what Miggy's done lately.
She's recovering from falling.
Yeah, so Miki's starting to attempt to sort of grab the nearest wall, base, whatever tall structures around and attempt to get up.
Okay.
You said there were animals on the base in cages, yeah?
There is a section of the base that is a big section of the base that is dedicated to animal cages. Yes, a lot of them with animals in them.
Well, in that case, if you guys have this handled, I'm gonna go rescue the kitties, and I'm gonna go try and break the cages open to let the animals out.
Okay.
Because I make good tactical decisions.
All right. So yes, you rush off to go help the animals. So,
are you going to stampede them over the base?
I'm just letting them out. I haven't thought. Miggy has not thought past this point.
Okay, so while you're rushing off to go do that, we have both Spencer and Sani, who I believe were dealing with.
Heinrich is still doing the honor duel thing with Colonel Shuriken.
Yeah, Commander. Yeah, he's still dueling Commander Shuriken. I think we haven't seen Spencer recently, who was fighting Yamovich.
Right then. So I was caught and then thrown aside.
Yeah, you tried to punch him. He caught your punch. Then he punched you. Then he counterpunched in the face.
All right. So what I want to happen is that as I'm getting back up and he's, I presume, gloating over me, I reach to my belt and press like a hidden little button. And then while he's gloating over me and I'm still getting on my feet, I dive out of the way as my red truck just comes from behind and barrels into him by remote control.
I presume this is meant to be an awesome action?
Yes. No, it's boring.
Okay, make a roll.
Yes, I succeeded. Finally.
All right. Yes, Yes, he is laughing and he is taunting and he's coming towards you. Then when he doesn't see it coming, where you press your button, dodge out of the way. Suddenly, your
Red pickup truck.
yes, your red
All American Ford pickup.
Well, I've got it written as a red jungle Jeep with a winch.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's a red jungle Jeep with
your red jungle Jeep. Basically, it's like someone threw it, but without anyone having to actually throw it. It comes barreling and it lands on the ground and knocks into him, and he gets thrown back from this attack.
It would have worked much better if it were a truck, but yeah, the Jeep works fine there.
Yes, and he's knocked back and rolls across the ground.
All right then.
All right, so then Heinrich fighting Commander Shurkin.
Yeah. At this point, he's just so done with it. He actually grabs the point of his sword, then puts the other hand on his somewhere in the middle of it, and just performs a mortals, meaning he's slamming the cross guard in not this cross guard, the pommel against the head of a shuriken to knock him out.
So you're trying to swing the butt of your sword against his head to knock him out?
Yeah.
Okay, that's
somewhat how I would classify it as an awesome action.
So using a sword as an improvised club.
Yep.
You're doing an awesome swing to try and knock him out with the blunt end of your weapon.
Blunt end, the pommel.
Yeah, the butt, the pummel, the blunt end.
Pistol whip him with your sword. Do it.
Okay, make an awesome roll then, if you want to make that up.
That's just the 8 I have in Bubblegum.
Yeah, so that matches up with your current Bubblegum count, so that's not a success. So, yes, you try and swing your sword at him in this awesome fashion, but he performs a counter maneuver where he outmaneuvers you, uses the better agility he can get from just, being on his feet, where he winds up knocking your sword out of your hands and it flies across the air and lands in the ground, blade first.
Mm-hmm.
Any one-liners?
So much show with so little show for it.
Nice. So, while this is going on, Monty's getting back in his jet, flying over the base, setting it to autopilot, and then jumping out onto one of the ramparts as it goes by, so he can get a better view of inside the base.
Okay, so that sounds like you're doing it as a mundane action.
Yep.
Really?
Well, it's not like I'm doing any kick-ass stuff.
You're jumping out of a jet.
Well, for this show,
Not a very high altitude, though.
I mean, for this show, just jumping out of the jet is can easily be relatively mundane.
So we're grading on a curve then. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if he wants it to be a mundane, he can make it a mundane.
And I'm going to sacrifice the bubblegum for that, putting me down to 5.
Okay, so you land on a still intact portion of the wall.
Yep. So now I have a view of the battlefield and people getting beaten up.
Yes, what's still going on. So, while this is going on, it looks like there is a sign that someone is trying to reactivate the robots. They're not active yet, but there's a clear sign that someone's trying to do it.
Which means Sergei is tracing power flows and trying to follow them to where presumably the doctor, is set up trying to reactivate. So he's got scanners up and just, okay, track here, nose goes over here, and so on and so forth.
Okay, are you doing that as a mundane?
Yeah, this one's a pretty mundane. It's starting to get towards bubblegum, towards awesome, but not quite over the threshold yet.
Okay, so make a mundane roll.
Fail.
Oh yeah, he's you're trying to get a load on it, but yeah. I mean, there on your screen, you see a little logo shows up that's like basically a simple image of Lieutenant Brainstorm's head, and he's basically zooming in and out as he's laughing at you. You know, kind of like how Jurassic Park, the he's kind of doing that kind of thing to you as he's jamming your attempt to find him.
And Sergei slams his dashboard. Knew I should have updated the firewall.
Okay,
Update your firewalls, kids.
So, on to Miggy. She's gone on to try and free the animals.
Yes.
Okay, so you're over by all the animal cages with a veritable zoo of African wildlife.
Sorry, I want to make a Games Done Quick donation incentives joke, but I don't know how that pans here.
I was going to make a NordVPN joke, if that helps.
Fair.
Okay, so what are you doing at the animal cages?
Well, I mean, a giant hot pink kangaroo robot. So the only logical course of action, I think, is to just start, like, ripping the fronts off them.
Okay. Are you doing it in a mundane fashion, or are you being particularly awesome about how you're going about this?
I don't think there's any way to rip off a cage door in a giant pink kangaroo mech suit. I can't think of a logical way of doing it.
I can. You just gently grab both one and then slowly pry it apart.
No,
Yeah, but that's boring. Badass it is.
Okay, make me roll for being awesome about that. Oh,
9.
Yes. And with your robot mech, you start, bashing those locks and breaking them and making those cages so they're all open. So all these animals, they're able to file out of their cages and they're able to escape, and they're starting to get out of there.
Like,
And
be
somehow
free,
you managed
friends.
to do it. Somehow you managed to do it without hurting any of the animals,
Yes.
despite being wild about the way you went about it.
Of course, you can't hurt animals.
No animals were harmed during the making of this feature.
It's all happening. It's all happening in a very Saturday morning cartoon fashion.
Yep.
There's just smoke rising to obscure the, so that no one has to animate anything, and there's just animals pouring out of the smoke.
Yes,
It's just animal noises.
Yes, a lot of smoke and animal noises. Occasional view of part of an animal. Okay.
Be free, friends. Live your
African
best
savannah,
life.
though.
Yep.
It's just 90% zebras.
Oh, it's stock animal noises. Got it.
For some reason, there's one cow.
Yes, one person. Yes, there's one cow noise snuck in as a joke. Okay, so while this is going on, Lieutenant Yemovich, he's picking himself up and he's looking at this stampede that's happening. And he's, no, you will not win this easily. And then you see him reach out as an elephant goes by, and you see him basically phase into the elephant. The elephant stops, and then the elephant turns to look at you with angry, glowing eyes.
That's not quite how I expected his powers to work, but all right.
That's pretty exactly how I expected him to work.
Yeah.
I sort of expected it to be like he still was in his main body, and then he just had control over the animal rather than just phasing into it.
Well, it's basically
Yeah.
I mean, I realize in hindsight I haven't actually said it, but I basically describe it as his powers are basically nanite ghosting.
Ah,
Sure.
I'm helping.
I'm sure that's on a character card somewhere.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, I actually do have a basic write-up, and that's how I have it written down.
Mm.
Okay. So yes. Miggy has freed the animals. Heinrich is still dueling Shuriken. We've got
Yeah.
Sergei.
Actually, Heinrich's probably gonna trying to finish up this duel.
Okay, so what's Heinrich going to do to try and stop Shuriken?
He's just saying, "Danke for freeing up my hands," and then just throws a completely normal right hook into square into a shuriken as a mundane punch to knock him out.
Okay, are you okay?
I'm just gonna spend the bubblegum to auto succeed.
All right. Yes, you rush him, and with your mech, you manage to punch him square across the face, and he goes flying through the air back into a wall.
Just like old Shatterhand, Heinrich says, slowly walks over and pulls his sword from the.
Enjoy your victory, for you will not, or before this day is through, you will know true defeat. And then he reaches up, he does the whole smoke bomb thing, and Commander Shuriken makes a full retreat.
Well, that's one down.
I will get you next time, you punny ninja.
Okay, so that leaves the Yemovich in the elephant, and a Lieutenant Brainstorm who has just about reactivated the Robomercs.
Right, so Sergei pulls up to the destroyed main computer, pulls out a spare keyboard monitor, parks it, plugs into the computer because, well, gee, you shot the monitor. Great, you shot the monitor. There's the rest of the computer there.
Hold up. Do you have a wrist computer?
He does. He's not using the wrist computer for this. He's using a spare throwaway computer gear.
I know. I just thought it would have been cool to just plug the wrist computer in.
Right. Well, okay, possibly, yeah. Plug the wrist computer in as a backup computer, and use that to try to hack in as a mundane action. Let's auto burn a bubblegum to succeed on this.
So is this just to hack into the system?
Hack in and stop the reactivation.
Okay, yes, you. Oh wait, I marked the wrong one on there. 1 moment. All right, so yeah, you spend a point of bubblegum, and so for a moment it looks like these machines are going to start up, and like they all stand up, look like they're active, and they turn, but then just as quickly they all drop to the ground. So the ground is littered with these Robomerc bodies.
All right. Sergei tosses into the comment, "Your friends are beginning to abandon this place. You may wish to too."
And you get no response from him. So, okay. So,
From her, wasn't it?
no, Lieutenant Brainstorm, he.
Oh, I thought Brainstorm was a woman.
No.
No, that's the secretary.
Miss, yes.
Whose name I completely just blanked.
Miss Helen Slaywell.
Thank you.
Okay, so that ultimately just leaves everyone with the elephant that is being possessed by Yemovich.
Guys, we need to talk about the elephant in the room.
Well, it's not it's not in a room. It's outside, but sure.
I mean, there are walls around it. I think that qualifies as a room.
Don't worry, I have a plan. And then I pat the elephant.
Okay. I'm going to say this looks like a job for you, Spencer.
Yeah, so, well, Miggy, she pats the elephant, but then the elephant lets out a trumpet blare and swings its trunk in Miggy's direction.
Elephant v mech suit. Who will win? Find out. Pay-per-view.
After the break.
So, how are you responding to this attack by the possessed elephant?
I want to just sort of walk backwards, so I'm sort of walking around the elephant while I continue to pat it.
Okay, are you doing that as I guess you're doing that as a mundane thing?
I guess I have to. I mean, yeah, for this show, yes.
Okay. Yeah, give me a mundane roll.
5.
Okay, yes, you avoid the trunk by patting your way away from the trunk. And then the elephant lets out another blare and stampedes in the direction of Spencer Rodriguez.
Okay. Lovely.
Can I try and stop this by cuddling the elephant?
You've had your action.
Sure.
It's also been a while since I've done anything.
There is that too. Yes, the elephant is away from Miggy before she can do anything else.
All right. I'm going to say that since I made my elephant in the room comment, I went over to my Jeep and started unspooling the winch cable. God, this is so stupid. And then started tied, kind of loop, a short loop, or kind of big loop at the end, and started twirling it like a lasso.
I mean, if you want to have a lasso, couldn't you just clip the hook onto the line itself?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Yeah, exactly.
Can you still use the winch when it's in mech form?
Well,
I don't think he went to mech form.
I haven't gotten to mech. It's still just in Jeep form. I don't know. Maybe no. The winch gets turned into like cables for my rocket punch hands. That's what happens to the winch there. So yeah, I tie the winch into a lasso and try to swing it around the neck, trunk, horn. I don't know, trunk, or just around the neck of the giant elephant.
Okay, so, are you choosing to be awesome about the way you're going about this?
Again, I think your threshold for awesome is a little higher than mine. Because I'm using a winch to try and lasso a mind-controlled elephant that's stampeding towards me.
Okay, make your roll.
Crap.
Okay, you try and do this. You actually do get the loop around it, but then the elephant plows into your Jeep and flips it over end over end. Like it flips once or twice before landing again upside down.
Is he hanging on to the cable?
Yes.
Were you
Yes.
Okay, you get flung into the air as well.
And then dragged.
So here's an idea. Maybe fight the elephant in your giant mech.
Well, my turn's over.
Well,
yeah, just a snarky comment.
Yeah. Anyone mind if Heinrich's just stepping in here to block the elephant before it tramples Spence?
No, it's done now. This is happening.
Well, yeah, you can step in to keep the elephant from trying to continue rampaging and walking all over.
Yeah, so Heinrich just charges over as he flips his sword in his grip so that the blunt edge is facing forward, grips his left hand and like about the third way on the blade, and so he is wielding it kind of like a staff, and just blocks the tusks of the elephant before they reach Spencer with the blunt edge of a sword.
Okay, that sounds like an awesome roll.
Yeah.
Okay, make your roll.
And that fails as well.
Yep. Yes, Heinrich tries to do this. He lands, but then the trunks send the mech suit flying too. So, all right.
So who's next?
Maggie, I think.
Well, I think right now we have, Monty, Miggy, and Sergei, who could be doing something. Monty hasn't done anything in a while, so...
Yeah, so I'm going to have my plane transform and start charging up the plasma cannon. Or railgun.
Right at the moment, I do feel obligated to point out that the idea is to save the elephant.
Non-lethal.
Yeah.
I
It's
mean,
not going full power. Just moderate power. Just enough to maybe knock it out.
So you're trying
And
to
here was expecting the Raygun to just load a giant tranquilizer dart.
Could do that too.
Okay, so you're trying to shoot a stun shot at the elephant to knock it unconscious.
Yep. Although it's
Okay.
going to take a little while to charge up, so
All right, well,
next
just
go around.
just the charging doesn't. I won't make you roll for that. So, Sergei, Miggy, who wants to? Either of you two want to take an action next?
Sergei?
So Sergei's been downloading the base files, but if we wanted to interrupt from that and charge in here, sure. Yeah, so having dealt with his threat, Sergei finally shows up out of nowhere, as far as the rest of the cast is concerned, hovercraft charging in directly at the side of the elephant, and at the last second goes into transformation sequence to try to heft the elephant bodily up by belly so the elephant is held helpless. Yes, this is an awesome roll.
That sounds like an awesome roll.
It is an awesome roll.
Okay, so yes, you zoom in. You Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, I'm just holding this elephant up. It's a large weight, but still, it's an elephant. So I'm holding it by its belly, where its legs can't trample me, where its tusk and tail can't get any purchase. It's held. It's not going anywhere.
you basically got the elephant suspended on your back right now.
Actually, no, I'm holding it up in my hands, all the way up.
Okay. All right then. Yes, you try and you manage to get in there. You're holding the elephant up, and the elephant, it's kicking its legs, it's swinging its trunk about, but no, it's not getting out of there. And it doesn't take long before the elephant stops. It kind of goes unconscious, and Yemovich drops to the ground nearby.
Just like to point out that since now that the elephant stopped rampaging and dragging me along by the winch, I just get up and dust myself off.
Okay.
Just the whole front of me is just like covered in dirt and dust.
All right. So yes, the elephant has been beaten. It's pretty much out of it, but Yemovich has dropped to the ground, and he's still there, and he still looks like he.
So it's not fully charged yet, but since it doesn't need to go for the elephant anymore, Monty fires the tranquilizer at Yemovich.
Okay, so you're gonna fire your partially charged stun shot at him.
Yep. Badass
Okay.
roll. And I think I have 5 right now, so I guess that fails.
Okay, yes.
Didn't charge it enough.
All right,
You
yes,
hit the elephant instead?
Yes, you fire the shot, but Yemovich, he's kind of with it, so he's able to just barely dodge and roll out of the way. And at the point, he takes a look at the scene, and he pretty much he's you can tell he's seeing that he's beaten.
Mm-hmm.
Next
For
time.
For just a moment, Sergei looks like he's about to drop the elephant on Yemovich.
Do you want to drop the elephant on him?
No, Sergei's just looking like he's considering it.
Okay, so all right, Yemovich, he starts to do like a monologue, but then he looks up and he turns and bolts.
Oh, he's faster than I thought.
Anyone want to try and stop him, or are you going to let him go?
Oh
I'll
boy,
take a few
yeah.
pot shots.
No, it's
I
okay.
was just gonna go like the old man, just chasing youngsters of his lawn. And don't you dare come back, Yanovich!
I'm taking a few mundane pot shots. Failed. So none of them hit.
Sergei would never be allowed by the network to actually throw the elephant at him, so he's just going to set the elephant down.
Okay, so yeah, Monty took like a basic mundane pot shot at him.
Yep. Just a few shots to try and get him as he's leaving, but misses every shot.
They all. You totally miss him, and before long, he's out of sight.
Can I take a chance to try and tackle him?
You can do that. How are you doing it? Just basic run at and try and get him?
Run at, chase down, wall run, and then tackle. Jump onto tackle.
Badass or mundane?
Badass.
Well, the wall run makes...
Of course.
Crap.
Yes, you try and run at him to catch him, but he's near a wall himself. He jumps, he leaps off the wall, and he turns around to punch you in the face as you're about to hit him. Then he turns around, he runs up the wall, and that's actually when a flying vehicle that looks like it belongs to Dr. Conquest shows up overhead. Yemovich leaps up the wall, he leaps off the top of the wall, he grabs a hold, and the vehicle flies off.
Yeah. It'd be too easy if we were able to just capture one of them now.
Well, we need information from somewhere.
Exactly. That's why it'd be too easy.
And
how
and
high up?
This is when you see Sergei smiling broadly as you would say you need information from somewhere.
I can't search. Do we have any tracking devices we could throw and stick to that field?
Comrades, I have downloaded the base's main files. Shall we see where they are going?
Well, let's hope it's there.
And with that, Sergei transforms his mech back to hovercraft mode, steps out, switches his wrist bracer to a projection on a nearby wall, and starts looking through the files for some kind of video briefing or overview of what the plan is.
Okay. Now, you did roll to access the computer and stop the startup. Whether mundane or awesome, I'm going to need you to make a roll to decrypt these information files.
Let's just burn another bubblegum for another mundane.
Okay, burning bubblegum for a mundane.
So real quick, how much bubblegum is everyone at?
So I think I'm at 4 now.
By my count, I think you actually have 3 bubblegum left right now.
All right, 3.
Okay,
I'm
so
also at 3.
By my current count, it is 5 for Heinrich, Sani, 4 for Azure's Richard, 3.
No, I've got 3.
Hmm?
Because I was at 5, and then I failed the badass roll, and then I failed the mundane roll, so now I'm at 3.
Only one of those takes you down.
No, I'm pretty sure they both do.
Well, no, I thought you only made... I mean, I think I counted it for the awesome one, and then also counted for the...
Oh, it is lose a point for both. Okay.
So
I was at 5, and then I rolled a 5 for a badass roll, so it failed, which put me at 4. And then I rolled the 8 for the mundane roll, which put me at 3.
Okay, you're at 3. Newbiespud Rodriguez also has 3 winged cats. Sergei has 3, and then Xencarn's Miggy has a whopping 7 bubblegum left.
It's almost like doing stupid stuff really well is successful at this game.
Okay, so yes, you get through the files. What you find doesn't necessarily tell you where these guys are going, but it does paint a disturbing picture that makes it sound like what's going on here was actually meant to be a distraction of some kind.
Are you kidding me?
Great.
Of course it would.
As always.
Oh my god, of course.
And that is when it cuts to another commercial break. A few minutes later, it comes back, and yes, you've just learned that there's something more sinister going on.
Heinrich reacts by punching a hole through the nearmost through a close by wall.
More sinister than kidnapping animals? Impossible.
And I thought they couldn't get any more evil.
You would be surprised. There is no upper limit to how evil someone can be.
And I'm pretty sure Monty was being 100% sarcastic and Miggy was being 100% sincere.
Absolutely.
Okay, so what is your course of action now?
Without a lead?
Do we have any contacts back to Dr. Conquest from the files at all?
Well, the files are basically what told you that this is a distraction is information is like a message from Conquest telling them to keep your team busy.
A message from Conquest, you say? Does it have anything to track it back with?
It's like what kind?
Well, if we're talking email, there are email headers.
No, this is basically a video message that was inserted. Yeah. That's like.
Unfortunately, it was sent via flash drive via carrier pigeon.
It was uploaded into a disk or something in like an old floppy disk that was then put into
right.
Yes.
Floppy disks could save the world.
So,
Joe, odd question. What year is this set in?
I was assuming 1990.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Specifically 1990.
There goes that idea. Actually, no, hang on, wait. No, you guys keep going. I need to double check something real quick.
Right, so Sergei walks off into the base looking for clues.
Was there any maps in the database?
Yes. As a matter of fact, there's a few maps of note, 3 in particular. One of this location, a second of a space in the Atlantic Ocean, which you recognize as a scene where it covers a large area where people have noticeably were searching not that long ago. This is relevant information. During the second season finale, like in a 2-part episode, there was an alien invasion with a big spaceship, and it was a big enough threat that the agents, of course, actually teamed up with Dr. Conquest to stop this attack. And the spaceship, the last time it was seen, was going down into the Atlantic Ocean, but the ship, despite being searched for, was never actually found. The third map is of New York City, specifically centered over the UN headquarters and course headquarters.
Well, this doesn't bode well.
That must be their target.
Yeah, one of them is, so how it
split up and gone for both.
That's the biggest issue if that's the case. Any volunteers to head for the alien ship with me?
Ooh, aliens? I love the Science Channel. Let's go.
I'll worry about headquarters. The rest of you.
Nobody goes alone, comrade. I come with you to headquarters. The rest of you to the Atlantic.
Mm-hmm. And Heinrich turns to you and make sure my cuckoo clock is intact when we get back. It's costly. That's one my mom gave me.
Sorry, your what?
The cuckoo clock. The old wooden clock.
Oh. Oh, okay. Cuckoo clock, okay.
Okay, so how are you doing this then?
Seems like we're splitting the party.
Okay.
Yeah, Heinrich and the youngsters to the Atlantic and the rest to the headquarters.
Okay, so Heinrich and Spencer are both going to headquarters.
No, Spencer and Sergei are going to the headquarters.
Okay, Spencer and Sergei, you're going to go there in your hovercraft.
So we had multiple jets, right?
You've got 2 jets, I believe, the command jet and then Montgomery's stealth jet.
I'm assuming that Maggie and Heinrich just grab onto Monty's stealth jet and just hit the right.
Yeah, sure. I'll
Yeah,
just
well,
deploy
this-
some things that the kangaroo can hold on to.
And the
Yeah,
rest of it
seems
is command
legit.
jet.
And we'll take the command jet back to base.
Okay, so Spencer and Sergei are taking the command jet back to base, and everyone else is going to the position on the Atlantic Ocean map.
Seems like it.
Yup.
Okay. So, yeah, first the team of, I believe that's Heinrich, Richard, Heinrich, Monty, and Miggy, you're going to the Atlantic Ocean position?
Yep.
Okay. You fly there and you arrive where it shows over the ocean.
Is
Anyone
there
got a
anywhere to
cable?
land, or is it just water?
No, it's basically just wide open water.
So
I don't think
you
any
got a
of us have
cable in there?
submersibles.
I'll just hold my breath. You just give me a rope to get back out.
Does Miggy have that in her pouch?
Rope? Probably
Yeah.
not. There's not much room for anything but Miggy.
Yeah. It does, I mean, noticeably there is, I mean, you're over the water. It does show a section that is, I mean, the map does pinpoint a position that is underneath the water. At the bottom.
Probably would have been a good idea to bring Sergei. Anyway. I guess I'll just set my jet on autopilot. And looks like we're going swimming.
Drop the kangaroo mech, it'll be fine.
Can the kangaroo mech swim?
Sure? I mean, if Batman can breathe in space.
Yes,
Alright.
let's
I
just
mean,
the kangaroo. In fact, the kangaroo has a submersible mode where it looks like it's wearing an adorable little scuba pack and scuba mask.
Well, I
I
attempted
assume
to
the
breathe there
knight
and then
the
just
knight
dive
armor
into
just
the water.
also has a mode which you changing, but there are bubbles floating out of the back of the helmet now.
There were like 2 or 3 people there speaking at the same time.
Well, I was just saying that the night mech from Heinrich probably has a submersible mode as well, which in the end just looks like it's putting up which just has a few bubbles floating out of it.
I mean, yeah, but I mean the night suit mech, yeah, that can be submersible as well.
It's more like a watertight, and he's just swimming really, really powerful.
Or
Yeah.
yes, he can do that, and when he wants to, he can also just sink and land on the floor, on the ocean floor.
And my jet does not have a submersible mode, so I just equip a rebreather and dive.
Okay. So you 3 are going down into the ocean.
Yep.
Yep.
All right. And what are you doing down there?
Looking
Looking
for a
quickly.
spaceship.
Okay. How do you want to, like, anyone want to do anything in particular the way they're looking for this, looking for something?
I'm going to say I got a scanner from Sergei.
Okay.
I'm going to use that.
Doing a mundane roll?
Burn a bubblegum. Down to 2.
Okay. You do your scanning, and at first, you're not seeing anything. It's like there's nothing down here, but, taking a closer look around, you see that there used to be something here, but there isn't anymore.
Well, we're heading back to base.
Roger that.
Notably, cut to Spencer and Sergei in the command jet. They're flying back to headquarters. The city is coming into view, and they see there is, over the city, a giant energy field. And in the middle of it, it's the spaceship.
Yeah.
The most notable difference being that on the front end, it looks like an impression of Dr. Conquest's face.
I am
in the center of the
altering
ship,
this
or
version.
No, I mean, like, you have the spaceship, and then one side it looks like there's like, a statuesque or replica impression meant to resemble Dr. Conquest's evil smiling face.
Sergei alters the autopilot's course to come in on the other side of the spaceship.
Well, there's a large energy field around it, and while you are approaching, the command jet is receiving an incoming message.
On screen.
And you see the face of Dr. Conquest himself. Hello, agents.
oh, this is live. Okay, hello.
Yes, it is live. Did you enjoy your African safari?
It had its moments.
Well, good to hear, because it's the last vacation you shall ever enjoy. For now that I have this ship and the city under my control, nothing will be able to stop me.
Yes, such a clever plan. Tell us all about it.
Well, don't mind if I do. After all, there's nothing you can do to stop me.
I'm quivering in my boots.
You should be. For you see, now that I control the city, and I am about to seize control of the entire United Nations. And when I do, I will force them to first approve a binding resolution dissolving course and making everyone who is a member now or in the past an outlaw. Then, when there is nothing left to stop me, I will force them to approve a second binding resolution declaring me the eternal and unquestioned Emperor of Earth.
Oh yeah, the U.S. will absolutely respect those resolutions. Well, that's impossible, Doctor. How are you going to make the UN do all that?
Why, I'm going to force them to, of course.
Under threat of spaceship annihilation?
I mean, clearly you just don't understand my genius.
You're right, I don't.
Yes, because I am infinitely smarter than you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that is how I was able to fool you with my silly distraction with the animals. You would be unable to resist helping.
Indeed.
Yes.
And this force field here, there's no way we could possibly get through that, right?
Of course not.
And the United Nations. I mean, you did check the calendar to make sure they're in session right now, and the building hasn't already been evacuated, right?
Well, notably, are you meaning to say that as like a genuine question, or as a hint
that it may be exactly what have happened.
Well, why do you think I chose today of all times? The whole assembly is in session, or they were. Pretty soon they will be again when I force them to assure my victory.
Okay, well, here we go then.
So you're going to receive a comms message saying, hey, so there might be a spaceship heading towards the base.
It's here.
Yeah,
okay.
I mean, that's what you're seeing is that, like...
Yeah, no, I'm saying that we saw that the spaceship wasn't there, that had left.
Yeah, it's basically
So,
kind
of a
like
light
just
heads
the,
up.
Oh, so
yeah,
this is
like we get back to the chat, send the message, and the Spencer and Sergei could show we're looking at it.
Yep.
Yeah, that trope.
And I turn to Sergei and say, "All right, so this force field, does it remind you of anything? We dealt with this thing before, right? How did we get through it last time?"
Well, last time it had an internal power failure. This time we may actually need to get through it.
so have you cut the communication to
Oh no,
Dr.
this
Gun-
is just right in plain view of, of the doctor.
Yeah, and Sergei's doing the analysis thing, checking its various spectra, checking for various weaknesses. How robust is it actually?
The force field?
You
Yeah.
should know full well how robust it is. Last time you required my assistance to stop it. Now with me against you, there's no possible way of you achieving victory.
And out of character, we're stalling for time until the rest of our team can get here. If it wasn't obvious.
I say, you win. I surrender. You can go ahead and take me prisoner now.
I'm not ready to surrender yet, but if you want to go on board, sure. Here, I'll bring the jet around. You lower the force field and we'll let him on board, so you can take him prisoner.
What? You expect me to take you prisoner by inviting you aboard my ship? What kind of idiot do you think I am?
No, I'm saying you come over here, take me prisoner and take me back to your ship under, guard.
Is it true? Agents of course truly giving up?
Yes, everything you ever wanted. I'll be waiting at the loading bay.
Well then, it appears as though you are finally seeing sense after all. But you will not be dictating the position at where I will be picking you up. I will be sending you a location where my men will meet you.
Certainly.
Where do you want him?
I will be sending you a location shortly. And then I look forward to seeing you as my latest prisoners soon. And then the screen goes dead as the comm channel cuts out.
I sort of dust my hands off and say, well, that'll keep him distracted for a bit.
Yeah. With luck, his men will take you on board, and that force field, it's bidirectional. He'll have to lower it to do anything.
$5 says they're just going to try and, take care of me on the ground, and I have to steal one of their vehicles to get up to the ship.
That's possible. Better you than me. I'll stay here.
Yeah, you keep working on this from the outside. I'll see if I can get inside.
Quite. And Sergei sticks his hand out to shake.
Yeah, I somewhat reluctantly, I shake your hand because, we are team members after all.
Right. Okay, with that, probably cut to the other team?
First, you get a one-way message directing you towards the New York City dock region.
All right.
Major shipping region.
All right, Sergei autopilots over to there. Loading bay or loading dock ramp unfolds right onto the pier.
Okay, as you're going there, that's when it cuts to the other 3 team members.
Who are in
So
the jet
how
on
close
their way?
are we to the alien ship and or New York City?
Well, how fast are you trying to get there?
As
Soon.
fast as possible.
Full speed.
Okay, yes, you are almost there yourself, and you're just suddenly seeing the big massive energy field over the city with the spaceship floating over part of the city where the UN headquarters and course base are located.
Well, that's different.
Mhm. That's nothing. And I'm gonna I'm just probably should not succeed, but Heinrich is just gonna jump off the energy field, reasoning that his stubbornness must be way more hardest than this energy field could ever be.
So say that.
Okay.
Explain that again. I wasn't clear on what you were planning.
He's jumping
Heinrich
onto
is-
the energy shield.
He's just gonna jump and then just in a falling meteor cut with his sword, trying to split it in half.
So when you get close enough, you're going to try and leap onto the energy shield to cut your way into it.
Yeah.
Okay, make me an awesome roll for that. Okay, no, you do not succeed. You hit the
Yeah.
shield. Your sword kind of pokes it, but then when you're in full contact with it, before your sword manages to pierce, you get hit with a massive electrical burst that, you're feeling it inside the suit, but then it totally causes the suit to do a full shutdown, and then you bounce back off it and are sent onward to the ground.
As Heinrich just falls, he's just opening a comm channel to the team and says, "Well, I think I finally found something that's more stubborn than me."
Well, your suit's shut down, so unless you're taking another action to try and use the comm some other way, that thing's non-functional.
I
Well,
assume
that's
he
good.
had earpieces.
Okay. All right.
It's like he's just saying it to himself.
Yep. Well,
Okay.
Just for
that's
the audience, like to make the whole thing show how hard this energy field is to pierce.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm gonna set down on top of the UN building and transform the mech form and start charging the cannon to full power.
How are you?
Just gonna drop the kangaroo on
that's
it.
on the. How are you? I mean, that's on the other side of the energy shield.
Oh, so it's actually
Yeah,
How large is
it's
the energy
It's
shield?
hovering over the UN building and the agents of the course center.
Yes, that is basically. Yes, those are basically directly under where the ship is floating in the sky.
okay. I thought it was just around the ship itself.
No,
Okay, then.
it's like an energy dome that covers the city with a center point of the UN headquarters. And
All right. Well, then I guess I'll set down on the tallest building outside of the shield.
I'm actually not sure what building that would be.
Random
New-
building.
it's
How about the
616.
Empire State
Let's
Building?
just call it the Empire State Building for recognition value, despite how little sense it probably would make.
Well, I don't know. I mean,
I'm
because
not sure if we could get the license for that.
Well, also, I imagine that would probably be inside the energy dome as well. Like most,
Yeah,
if not all, the tall buildings in the area would be within city limits, within the border of this energy shield.
Wait, so it's the energy shields around the entire, like most of the downtown New York?
Yeah, it's over pretty much all of New York City.
Okay, that's different.
Just land
So-
on top of some random apartment building and then disturb the pigeons that are inevitably on the roof. Because there's always pigeons.
Basically, I just need a line of sight to the spaceship.
Well, the spaceship is also in the energy field.
Yeah. I just need to
Okay.
be
Oh,
able
I'm-
to see it and aim at it.
Oh, I'm gonna need you to drop me somewhere first because I'm pretty
Will
sure the
do.
mech's still under you.
Yeah, so you just drop down onto the street below. Hop around.
Yeah.
Probably slapped, shaking Heinrich back awake after he crashed into the ground.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'll set you down near Heinrich. And I'll
Yeah.
set up on a building with line of sight to the spaceship so I can start charging my cannon and be, hey, so if you could get that energy shield down, I can go ahead and shoot down the spaceship like last time.
Right on top of New York City, huh? I admire your courage there.
It'll work out. Always does.
Yeah, I maybe Maybe I'm thinking someone should get inside and make sure it crashes, not on top of all those innocent people and
That works.
world leaders.
Plus, there's the very real possibility that the thing could explode, and, that kind of alien technology, if something goes wrong, it could basically wipe out the city.
Or, yeah.
Well, I'll leave that to you guys inside of the field. Can't really do much about it from out here.
Right now, no one's inside yet.
Yeah.
Well, that's why we're leaving it to you.
Okay. Anyway, we're back to, let's go back to, Spencer and Sergei, where they've landed at the docks. And that outside the command jet, they see like a huge force of the robomercs and even larger robots and mechs that have surrounded the area and all pointing their weapons at the command jet.
Oh boy. Well, Sergei, you stick around and I'll do what I can.
Have fun. Sergei is at the controls, just carefully landing and extending the ramp for his partner to get out.
Yes, you hear a loud robot mechanized voice say, "Come out with your hands up!"
Let's see. I go to my Jeep real quick.
Is your Jeep inside the command jet?
Yeah,
yes.
We've been hearing it.
Yeah, it's in the hangar. And I make sure before I leave to equip my special trademark bullet deflecting gloves.
So how long are you taking to do this?
Just like a few, like a minute, and then I head back out to before we landed. Actually, just
okay.
And then I head out with my hands up.
Keep your hands where we can see them.
I'm still kind of smirking, but I just walk straight into the throng of them.
Okay, so you're like in the middle of where all of them are?
Yep.
Okay, so at that point, the larger robots with the larger machines with heavy artillery, they open fire on the command jet.
Right. Bailing, expected this. This is why the command jet had its ramp towards the pier and its nose pointed away.
Okay, are you just doing a basic bail?
But there is no way to do a basic bail. Even a straight line through all this artillery would still be awesome, and he's not just doing straight line, he's doing dodging, barrel rolls, the whole works.
Okay, make me an awesome roll. All right. Yes, you managed to barrel out, and you're lunging out with a fireball following. You practically leap out. I mean, the explosion basically erupts, and you're leaping right out of it, kind of like you're escaping from inside the fireball, miraculously unharmed. And yes, you land, and as
I don't land if I can avoid it.
So I think you two have two different ideas of what's going on.
Yeah, I think so. So you're doing what after you lunge out of it?
Just keep flying
into the sky and out of there.
So what he's saying is he's taking the command jet and doing evasive maneuvers.
Oh, okay.
I have delivered the cargo. I am done at this location. I am leaving, is my intent.
Okay. Okay, you pull back and the water starts exploding and the dock sections around you start exploding, but you practically do a barrel roll in the water as you initially escape from this attacking, and then you leap out of the water into the sky in a way that realistically, that really shouldn't be possible. Even people watching it who know this should be impossible, but it's too cool for people to care. And you burst up into the sky, and there are weapons fires that are trying to shoot down the command jet. I mean, it's following after as the plane tries to fly away.
Right. I lead them on a merry chase right up to the spaceship and try to use the spaceship's shield as terrain to impact the trailers on. So there's still like homing missiles, right?
Well, they're not. They haven't shot missiles yet. This is all like laser fire.
So it's not like tracking me as I change course?
I mean, they're trying to track you, but...
Right. Once I'm away, I head up to the spaceship and try to use the spaceship itself as cover.
Well, when you start... I mean,
isn't the spaceship... Wasn't the spaceship underneath the energy field as well?
Yeah, the spaceship is underneath the energy field.
Right, so more properly, I'm using the energy field as cover.
Just flying around it. Just, yeah.
Okay, so you're... Alright. So then you're flying away, and you're off and away from them then?
Yep.
From the docks, yeah.
Alright, so once you're away, and it's pretty clear they're not going to be getting you, they let you fly off, because they figure you're not going to... I mean, they don't have to worry about you out there right now. So then they turn their attention to Spencer.
Mm-hmm. I'm waiting.
Okay, so yeah, you have actually 4 of the Robomercs approaching you. 2 of them carrying a big pair of like big handcuff type things.
All right. Yeah, just gonna let him put them on right now.
Okay, they put those on you, and then they grab hold of you, and they start to march you towards a black hovering vehicle.
All right, good.
And when you get near there, before they put you in, you see another coming that's got something you're pretty sure it's the kind of thing that's used to knock someone unconscious. Like it's a high tech needle thing, or a non Star Trek version of the hypo spray, kind of big and bulky.
Yeah, I make a show of struggling a bit, but I think I just have to take this.
Okay. Then they put it against your neck, you feel something go in, something being injected, and then Spencer is knocked unconscious.
All right, and then presumably taken up into the ship?
Well, you don't know where you're being taken.
That's true. All right. Well, taking a risk.
Okay. So, all right, let's go back to the other 3. We've got Heinrich. Monty's still he's taking up. He's still in the sniper position.
Heinrich is just slowly but surely tearing off the parts of his mech that are shorted out. And soon he's just standing there in a way outdated military uniform and picks up his...
Okay. So is Monty just taking up his sniper position for now?
So here's a thought. Could we maybe get past the energy barrier by going through the subway?
That is a possibility, but you don't know because you don't know. Well, actually, based on your previous knowledge, I mean, if it's anything like last time, if it's anything like your previous knowledge, then you may well be able to sneak through underground.
All right. Hold on a second.
If you can find a pathway that leads from underground outside to underground inside.
Sure.
So, how much time left do we have in the episode?
Well, that
before the climax.
Well, this threat is basically the central threat of the episode.
Right.
So, and unless we want to envision this as like it's double-length episodes, it's not a two-parter.
Right. It's like in universe. How many minutes until the climax estimation?
What do you mean?
Like, say, 20 minutes expected time to get and disable the ship? 30? 10?
That is not the kind of thing I've actually thought of.
I assume if it's not a double episode, 20 minutes would be the entire runtime of the episode.
I mean,
Not
We're probably
not real time outside the episode, like inside the TV show.
I mean,
we don't have a
time.
countdown right now.
No,
Yeah,
there's no countdown.
Yeah, for one, the session, the United Nations need to reassemble, and we don't have a timer on that.
Well,
it's bureaucracy. They're gonna take till tomorrow if we take this realistically.
the implication is he's taking control of the United Nations, so they assemble whenever he tells them to, or whenever.
Still
he
bureaucracy.
What I'm trying to do is set up the my railgun to fire automatically at the ship whenever the climax of the episode happens.
Well, you can basically just set up the railgun to fire at a given point. Basically, set it up to fire at whatever point in the future it needs to.
Yeah, I just wanted to give it a little bit of tension with the time limit.
So, are you basically setting up your gun to fire at a later point?
Yeah, basically setting it to automatically track where the spaceship is and then fire at a certain point once it's finished charging up. At which point, hopefully, we'll have taken down the shield and gotten it over open waters.
So you're setting up a countdown clock for us. Great, thank you.
Yeah.
It's not like we needed it.
You're setting up Richard's gun.
But are you sharing the fact that we should be able to get under through the shield underneath?
Yep. Absolutely.
He's
All right,
that
so-
arrogant.
I'm planning on the three of us going out,
In that
going down under
case-
there, and managing to
set
get
up-
it done in time.
Okay, so you're setting up the gun, and then you're going down either through an underground passageway, like the sewers, or
Yep. Burning a bubblegum.
Yeah.
Down to one.
I'm just seeing Heinrich just as he gets into Maggie getting all ew, that stinks, and then just shoving her in anyways.
well, what is Miggy's reaction to
I
having
mean,
to
are we
go
taking
down?
the subway or the sewers?
Yeah,
Sewers.
that's actually a fair point. Which one are we taking?
Yeah.
Isn't the spaceship still hovering, so there is no underground path in?
Well, we just need to get into
So
the
what-
city to be able to get.
I would take
Space.
let's take the sewers. More options to get out of, closer to the building. Just find the nearest manhole.
Are there no subway stations near the UN building?
Like, it's a fairly big energy shield, I thought. Like, it was
Yeah,
taking
it's
up a fair amount of space. There'd be a subway tunnel inside of it. There's no way there wouldn't be.
There is a huge. I mean, the energy shield is huge. It's basically, for all intents and purposes, it's covering all of New York City.
Like, we're talking miles here, not, like, meters.
Yes, he's basically taking control of the entire of New York City, the entire New York City area.
Well, in that case, taking the when we're sitting at the highway, we'll probably the cutoff from the subway on our end, anyways. If I have the subway, the underground map of the New York City in my mind.
Because also with subways, we could theoretically take your cars. to get
Also,
there
if we get the
faster.
subway, we can have a scene where we're all sitting, like, just on the subway, just, waiting for it to go, and it'll be cute.
Sure,
and
let's do that.
adorable and
Let's do
great.
that. Just sitting down. Let's commandeer a subway train.
Okay,
The
so
Spider-Man PS4 scene where he's just sitting there in his spider suit, waiting for the
Yeah.
subway to go.
So you're sneaking into the subway.
Not sneaking. Heinrich's just walking into the next subway station, looks
Okay.
for where the train is standing, because there probably would be like trains headed outside the energy field for evacuations of civilians.
So what this is this an ad for the public
New York
transportation system
subway.
of New York, saying that even in times of disaster, it's still going and you can get to where you need to go.
Yes, there was. This is product placement on the part of the. This is product placement on part of the New York City public.
Right.
Yeah, on the
transportation.
city of New York.
Even when the city's in danger, you can always count on the public transportation system to get you where you need to go.
And I imagine a lot of people giving Heinrich strange looks because he's carrying a 1.5 meter long sword.
Well,
I'm
right
still
now
wearing
there's
my pink Joey onesie.
Well, there's actually no one else riding it right at the moment. It's just the three of them riding on the train by themselves.
Yes.
Though, as you're going, you notice up ahead there appears to be security set up. There are
A question:
there's robomechs that are.
couldn't there be like the one guy who's late to work sitting in the subway with no idea what's going on?
Also, there's one guy that just fell asleep and never got off.
Plus, there's also like a homeless guy.
Yep.
So sure, yes, there are a handful of people. One who has no idea what's going on. One who's fallen asleep, and then a homeless guy. But anyway, up ahead, you discover that there is security set up. There's it's not like the energy kind of shield thing, but there is a bunch of robo mercs that are guarding this particular entryway.
Well, as we reach them, Heinrich is just gonna wave towards the sleeping homeless guy and saying, "We're with him. He needs to get back home. It's an emergency." And just tries to bluff the robo-mer.
So you're going to try to bluff the bluff the robo merc into letting you pass by.
Yeah, because that homeless guy obviously needs to get back to his bridge.
Now
So-
we can spin it that he's my dad and your son.
So are you three you three are in your outfits right now?
And Heinrich is just wearing the way out of that military uniform he's always depicting it, which is basically whatever which is basically what he's been wearing since the World War One. It was World.
Okay, I'm gonna need all three of you to make awesome rolls.
Oh, that should be easy.
Yeah.
Success.
All right. What can possibly go wrong with this? Why?
I mean, I've
That's-
got one bubblegum, so
Yeah. No.
I'm at free bubblegum now.
Okay, so Monty rolled 6, Heinrich rolled 4, and Miggy rolled 2.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, they fully recognize both Miggy and Heinrich as agents, of course. They raise their weapons and order you to surrender immediately.
I just have
believe it,
Heinrich just looking down at the breast pocket where he has his name tag, and on the right shoulder where there's the Agents of Course patch, and he's oh right.
and of
And he
course
pulls
Miggy's the
his
poster
sword.
girl.
Oh, you pull your sword?
And he's starting to, and once they start shooting, he's just gonna parry the bullets away from the train.
Okay, so I imagine that if you're doing the whole parry thing, that's probably gonna require another awesome roll. Well, you get it. Okay, so yes, you start swinging the sword around practically like a lightsaber, and you knock these shots away. One goes back into the robomechs, and they fall back. But you hear some then infiltration in progress. Send backup.
This reminds me back in the day when we were storming the train. Come on, and he heads back for the train.
So they are. So yes, currently the surviving robomechs are firing on the three of you, and they're calling for backup.
Hmm.
What have I actually got that I can use in a situation that isn't
Let's
sushi?
just run an over with a train.
Well, this actual position, yeah. Well,
Yeah, well, are they on the sort of platform, or are they actually on the track?
I think this is actually they're on a platform. This is near a subway exit.
Are we
Like a subway
inside
station.
the thing, or are we still outside?
Underground.
Are we
Are
still
we
So are we
already-
inside the? Are we
Have we
inside the
gotten inside?
dome, or?
Well, you don't know for certain, but you think you're probably somewhere inside the dome.
So let's just head one station further and then get off.
So I'm gonna make a gamble. Time for a Lancer moment.
What are you doing?
Hey, take me to your leader. I want to make a deal with Dr. Conquest.
And so you're just yeah, are you gonna do an awesome roll or a mundane roll?
I mean, I'm doing the awesome roll.
Okay,
I'm
make a roll on
feigning
that.
switching sides.
Okay. They
I mean, Dr. Conquest would be lucky to have someone like me on his team.
yes, they're still firing on the other two though.
Yeah, I'm gonna hide in the train.
Heinrich is just gonna go and charge the Robomooks and just begins to cleaving them in half with his.
Okay. That's a make a mundane roll on that to spend bubblegum.
If it's mundane, I'm just gonna spend another bubblegum to just succeed at it, bringing me down to 2.
Okay, so yeah, you swing your sword, and pretty soon, both the remaining Robomechs have been cut down.
Well, that doesn't go well for me. He should have just
Immer
escaped.
diese Jungspunde. And he turns back to Trey and says, Miggy, it's safe now.
I'll sort of poke my head round the door. Are they dead?
Yep, they're
Can
dead.
you kill that which is not alive?
Foiling my plan.
Oh, thank you. Okay, we should probably head up then, yeah?
Yep, I'm gonna go off on my own.
Sure.
No, you can't just leave us here. Besides, you might get hurt, and then what are you gonna do?
And then he's gonna be sitting there and crawling back to. Like that time I got hit by a frag grenade.
Basically, my plan is to find more of the robots and convince them to take me to Dr. Conquest to make a deal with him.
You're betraying us?
Heinrich just face palms
Yeah,
with the sword in hand.
I sure am, and I make my escape. Doing parkour in a badass way.
Are you betraying us? Yeah, lol, bye.
So
Out of character, to fool one's enemy, you must first fool one's allies.
Not terribly
So-
convincing.
And Heinrich is just standing there and just going,
Not a-
Gott sei fix doch mal diese Jugend heutzutage.
Of course, I assume Miggy and Spencer are the only ones that actually believe that he's switching sides.
Mickey will just believe
I
whatever you
refuse to
tell him
believe
at
this is the
point,
first
so
time
yeah.
in this series you've pulled this stunt.
Well, yeah, but of
Every
course
time.
you're
Falls
still
for it
suspicious of him.
Every time.
I would assume the only ones still falling for the trick are the Robomooks and Maggie.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I presume at this point all of you have left the subway station.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're outside. You do see that, yes, you are inside of the dome, and just over the horizon of the buildings, you can see the big ship floating. So you've got a general sense of where it is and where you are relative to ship. So, yeah,
Mhm.
but yes,
And
Richard.
as they can see the outside, so Sergei is going to try to set up a two-step awesome ambush. First step is he's going to try some weather manipulation to put a light dusting of snow all over the dome. So as they get outside, they would see this if he's successful. Just enough to block sight outside, so they can't see anything that's going on outside.
Well, have you been like circling in one place outside, or what is
I've
you?
been circling around the energy shield. I mean, I'm in the jet. I'm in the command jet with all my gear.
Okay, I should probably note that as you've been flying around, you do notice that there is like a military operation that is set somewhere outside the dome. I mean, they haven't really made any progress, but there is a response that is happening.
Right, and Sergei is trying to block line of sight to that.
Well,
so that the Dr. Conquest and his minions don't get to see that this is happening.
well, Conquest already knows that there is military on the outside of the base, out on the outside of the dome, and he sent troops to observe it.
Right. So Sergei is trying to find the troops that went outside, take them down, and blind Conquest to everything that's going on outside.
No, his troops are still on the inside of the dome, but they're near where the troops who are friendly to course, like U.S. military, UN, whatever UN forces that they have in the area that weren't inside the dome.
The guys with blue lasers rather than red lasers.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
I'll be honest.
Right. So
I don't
Probably
think
setting
it's
up
not
a real
help.
big bomb.
So
Right. So Sergei's
So-
trying to screen them, so Conquest doesn't know anything more than they're there somewhere.
okay, so regardless, you're trying to set up like snowfall to cover all of the dome.
Right. Just enough to blind them, not enough to crush the city when the dome falls, because he knows the dome's going to fall soon.
Okay. And how are you? So you're doing this how?
He's in the
what's the
command jet with all his gear. So, like, he's doing bringing up water, freezing it, giant sheets all over the dome, any water that's in the atmosphere, cloud making.
Okay, make me an awesome roll for this. Okay, yes. It takes effort, but eventually you start to form clouds, and pretty soon these clouds, they're developing into snow clouds, and pretty soon there's snow that is coming down that is starting to cover the dome, and it's cover of white that is all over it.
Right.
Slowly building up to obscure what's happening outside from what's happening inside.
Right. Before he loses sight of the inside, Sergei takes careful note of exactly where the spaceship is.
Well, it hasn't moved at all. It's still in the same place.
And Sergei's counting on that to continue.
Okay, while you're doing this, you get a communication. You get an incoming call.
Yeah?
What's going on up there? What are you doing?
And this is from the commanders outside?
This is Are you Well,
do I have caller ID on this call? Is this coming from Conquest or who's it coming from?
the video, he looks like a US general.
Right, responding back, this is Sergei Romanova, agent of course. I am giving you cover. I will also give you coordinates. Be prepared to fire when this comes down.
Coordinates to what?
Coordinates to the guys holding the United Nations hostage.
You mean the ship?
I mean the ship.
We know where the ship is. The ship is where it's been since it showed up and parked in the sky.
Right. Be ready to fire. The energy dome's coming down soon. He doesn't know where you're coming from, so he won't be able to countermeasure. Don't be worried that he knows who you are.
Okay, the general looks off screen for a bit, like he's looking. All right, we'll trust what you're doing, but you better know what you're doing.
Of course.
Okay, so Yeah, so anything else you're doing then, or?
That probably takes enough effort that that's all I have time to do while the rest of the party is doing this.
Okay, let's cut to Spencer. He comes to and he finds it's kind of the room he's in. He finds that the area around him is dark, but it's kind of a dark red, and he still has his heavy handcuffs on.
Okay. I test the strength of the handcuffs, not to try and break them, just to see if they can be broken in theory.
They are probably beyond your strength to break just as a human. They are very sturdy. They are super advanced science handcuffs.
Fair enough. Anything else in the room?
There is basically, it's a small room that's in a dark red. There's a bench on one side and a big heavy door on the other that looks at least as sturdy as the handcuffs you have on.
I give the door a few bangs, and is there like a barred window or anything?
No, it's just a big heavy door.
All right, I bang the cuffs against the door to create a loud noise. Well, no response?
Not immediately.
All right, well, I wait patiently.
Hello, agent! You hear a voice over an intercom.
Ah, hello there.
Enjoying your new room?
Well, I was kind of hoping to meet the man in charge, as it were, so I could surrender properly.
You already did surrender, and now I'm holding you prisoner until I need you for something else.
We haven't actually seen eye to eye yet.
What, do you think I'm going to bring you up so you could punch me in the face?
No, you're gonna bring me up so that you can gloat to my face.
I can gloat to you just as well right here.
Are you sure? You can't really see the defeat in my eyes this way.
There's a noticeable pause. You make a good point, but I think I might enjoy gloating better when I can gloat to your entire team all at once.
Well, maybe they'll be even more demoralized if they see me at your side, defeated, handcuffed, helpless.
I will definitely keep that in mind. I might well need to do something like that soon.
Well, if you're not even going to give me the courtesy of an audience for all the effort I went to surrender, then I guess I'll just pass the time by seeing how much noise I can make. And I go to just start banging on the door, which hopefully the metal just reverberates through the ship.
Well, are you like you're trying to make as much noise as possible?
Yep.
Okay, make me a mundane roll.
I'm just gonna burn bubblegum on that.
Okay.
I'm just gonna chew some bubblegum.
All right. After banging on the door a while, you hear something. You hear a banging sound come back. Hey, keep it quiet in there.
I continue.
I mean it.
I continue.
Okay, there's a pause for a while. But then you see the door open, and when you do, you see a few robo-mercs, and then one and then one guy who's on the far end of a really big gun. I mean, it doesn't look like a can. It's like the kind that you I mean, it's the kind that could eat like a science gun of some kind. Hello,
Yes, I'm thinking. Thank you.
Okay, sorry, I wasn't hearing when I worried I'd been cut off.
As soon
Does
as
it
the door,
occupy the entire door? Does it occupy the entire door, or is there room for him to squeeze by?
There's not really room for him to squeeze by.
I rush the gunner with my deflection gloves outstretched and my handcuffs held up at the center.
Okay. Make a mundane roll on that.
Mundane, you say?
Well, unless you're doing something more than just rushing forward with the hands outstretched.
I'm rushing forward and trying to use both the deflection metal on my gloves and like hold up the sciencey big handcuffs as kind of a shield to try and get them shot and broken.
Okay, yeah. You can do an on that. Okay.
Yeah, considering I'm at 2, yes.
Okay. You charge forward, and what gets shot isn't like a shot that breaks it, because it's like more of an energy stun shot. But the way you do it, it hits your handcuffs, and it weakens them. You're pretty sure that they're weakened enough you could break them, but in the process you like ram into the gun, and it hits smack dab into the guy on the other side of it. He gets flung backwards.
And that's why I don't like guns.
And you've got 2 of the robo-mercs on either side of you, and they're raising their weapon fire.
I just start going ham on them, just like, pull on one's gun to sort of take them off balance, twist around, smack them into the other, disarm hand to hand, that sort of thing.
Okay. I presume awesome roll for this?
Yes.
Okay, make it.
I still succeed because I'm at 2.
Yep, you just barely succeed. You're you're grabbing one wave, dodging a shot from the other. You're flinging these guys around, and in the middle of it all, you basically swing your arms out in opposite directions, both sending the handcuffs flying off and smacking 2 of the robo-mercs in the face at the same time to knock them flying off their feet.
Nice.
Yes. So yes, you are now free out of the room with robo-mercs and goons lying around unconscious. Noticeably, what you're seeing, it doesn't look like you're actually on the ship.
Yeah, that was always a possibility. I look around for I presume this might be some kind of vehicle, so I look for some kind of control room.
No, it looks like you're inside a building.
Ah, okay. Well, thanks for that, I guess.
So, I mean, you're in a building. It looks like you're kind of in a hallway of some kind. There's other cells nearby.
Anyone in those cells?
You can't tell. You'd have to open them up. Well, oh, yeah, sorry, my bad. Yeah, you're able to find control on the goon. You're able to find a control system to start opening up. Most of them are empty, but a few of them have individuals who look like they are United Nations diplomats, ambassadors.
Hmm.
And they are immediately grateful to see you and being let out of and the cells being open for them.
All right. So if you're here, I presume waiting for instructions to convene at the United Nations or something like that?
Um, yeah, what you find out from them is that you are actually in the United Nations build. They believe they are in the United Nations building.
Oh. Well, I guess I'm here now. Fair. So who's next?
Okay, sounds like we should go back to yeah, let's go to Monty. What is he up to?
Cut to the spaceship. Monty's having an audience with the evil guy.
No, he hasn't gotten there yet.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
last we saw him, he was doing parkour on the buildings or what have you.
He was just getting away from the other two,
Right.
so he could find some group of robots to defect to and get on the ship.
So he's running through the city looking for robots.
Just someone who works for Dr. Conquest that can get him on the ship.
Okay, it doesn't take long for him to find a group of robots, and they raise their weapon. As soon as they see him, they raise their weapons.
I disarm them and tell them to take me to their leader. I want to make a
Okay.
deal.
You're gonna try and disarm him as an awesome or mundane fashion.
As an awesome.
Okay, make a roll.
All right. Considering I have one bubblegum.
Okay, yes, you disarm them, and then you give them your spiel as far as taking.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, one of them says. They look at each other, and then one of them looks to you and says, "Wait here." And they will stand there, and then waiting a few minutes, then another group comes. Then one of the Robomechs actually has a TV built into its chest, and he looks at, and it turns and looks to you, and the screen turns on, and there is Dr. Conquest. So I hear you want to join the winning team.
I mean, of course. Who wouldn't?
Well, dumb people, obviously.
Yeah, you think I'm
Those-
like those plebs?
I must say I am intrigued by your offer, but I can't automatically assume that this isn't some kind of ploy. After all, you do have a history of being, being an, questionable, well, being a large question mark in the loyalty department. I believe I've heard stories of your claims of switching sides before.
Yeah, but those guys were going to lose anyway. I was just speeding up the process. You're a much bigger threat. There's no way we can beat you.
Well, let me make you an offer. I have one course agent in my possession. There's you, and then there are 3 others that are out in the wild. Bring me at least one of them, and I will entertain your offer to join my side.
All right. You got yourself a deal. Next time, let's
certainly
meet face
hope
to
so.
face.
Well, I certainly hope that this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
As do I.
I will have these robo-mercs accompany you to assist in the operation.
All right. So I'm going to head back to capture Gramps and Miggy.
Okay, the TV screen goes blank, and then they follow the robo-mercs you disarmed. They pick up their weapons, and then there's like 8 of them that follow after you as you go to search for Heinrich and Miggy. Speaking of which, Heinrich and Miggy, what are you up to?
Harry is just turning to Miggy and asking, from Miggy, and then looks from Miggy to the spaceship, back to Miggy, back to the spaceship, and says, "How far can you throw me?"
Without my mech, not very far. And the mech's outside because we couldn't fit it into the subway. Remember?
You really should start working out more.
What?
I mean, that's not fair. My figure is perfectly fine. Thank you very much. Maybe if you
I
just
could
weighed
throw you up
less-
to the spaceship right now without my mate.
No?
I feel like I should note that, I mean, under normal circumstances, you'd basically be able to signal and your vehicle would appear, but the shield is the kind of thing that disrupts your ability to summon your vehicle.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
So it not being able to fit into the subway isn't an issue.
Well, in this case, it is because shield. But yeah,
Good point.
he's just gonna sort of shrug and just head towards home base, I guess, or the
Okay.
UN building.
Two of you are headed in that direction.
Yeah, slowly walking. Probably
Like, we
grabbing
don't have anywhere else to go.
Okay. Well, are you trying to
Pro-
sneak there, or are you just charging on forward?
I'm in a
Nah,
pink Joey onesie. I'm not sneaking anywhere.
Heinrich is just casually strolling towards the UN building, grabbing on.
Okay. So, so you're walking through the streets, and before long, you encounter a patrol of there's like a dozen of the robo-mercs, and there's one large, like, it looks like a walking tank. They turn their weapons towards you and say, "Surrender immediately."
How about this? I give you my donut and you surrender to me.
You say, "What?"
And Heinrich just looks at him. Says, "Well, how about this? I give you my donut and you surrender to me."
And
What are
they
you-
respond by opening fire.
Yeah. Heinrich is gonna repeat the blade blocking the shots move from earlier.
Okay, make an awesome roll. Okay, yes, you were able to block the shots and start sending them away. Tank shot hits the ground near you and forces you forces the both of you into cover.
Yeah, me would have been finding cover as anyway. Yeah.
So
Heinrich just gives a short chuckle. That brings me back. So many sweet memories. So
Okay.
many comrades.
So a few of the robo-mercs have been vanquished by their own shots, but they're still approaching. And then the another shot from the walking tank blows up the cover you have been hiding behind.
Are they firing lasers or are they firing bullets?
Like most of the weapons in this show, they're firing lasers.
Okay, sweet. So I'm gonna pull out my compact mirror and try and basically redirect the laser fire onto the tank bullet.
Okay, make me an awesome roll for that.
Can I burn a bubblegum?
You can spend bubblegum on mundane rolls, but not.
Yep. I can never remember. How many bubblegum do I have? 6?
Yeah, you have
7?
6.
6. Okay. Nope.
Okay, you stand up triumphantly and hold it's like the mirror, right?
Yep. Like one of
You
those
hold-
powder compact mirror things.
You
Yeah.
hold it up triumphantly in front of you and flip it open and hold it out with one hand, determined to deflect these shots. The first one that hits shoots the mirror up into the sky out of your hand, and you go and then the rest, then a bunch of other shots fire around you and basically you need to run to cover again, or else something's gonna hit you.
Yep. Yeah, that
Yes.
sounds like Miggy.
Yes, I Jonathan Comedy turns to look and says, "See, I told you should have worked out more. Can't even hold on to your own."
Oh yes, because you've been such a help so far.
So yes, these shots are.
I took 4 of them out of their own gunfire.
Question.
Yes.
I am in the UN building.
Yes.
They were heading towards the UN building.
Yes.
Can I just out of nowhere appear and jump on the tank?
They're a significant distance away from the UN building right now.
So, can I
Yeah.
appear from behind and
That's what I was.
stun Heinrich with a stun
You-
shot?
Can we
You
all
would-
converge?
The well, based on this fighting that's happening, Richard would have been informed where these two are. So yes, he could appear and attack. He could appear and attack Heinrich to try and disable him.
Hmm.
Yep.
Can I roll for high to just hold out long enough to whisper to him to just whisper to the traitor in the big quotation marks?
Well, if you
Just let me keep my knife in my
you could
boot.
roll an opposing roll.
Yeah, I mean, the two of you can. I mean, this is a direct conflict where you can roll to, where the two of you can roll countering, like, yeah, the.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's
for
not
you-
as much countering; it's more like just holding on onto consciousness long enough to just whisper one sentence under the assumption that he's actually just playing at being a traitor.
So,
Well, I'm going to go
So-
ahead and roll for badassery. I succeed, but not a very high roll.
okay, but then Heinrich, he has an idea what's going on, so he lets. So he
I
basically
guess he
lets
just
it
plays
happen.
along.
Yeah, the D is
Okay.
basically pointing out like a spot where he has his army knife, then to make sure that it stays hidden on his person, and then he just collapses.
Okay, so yeah, while Miggy and Heinrich are trying to escape, suddenly Richard, he leaps out of nowhere and he catches Heinrich off guard, and there's a brief scuffle, but Richard easily wins with an awesome maneuver that totally takes Heinrich out, but not before he looks like he's trying to hold on, and he whispers. You said he whispers that traitor thing.
No,
Let me keep
he's
my knife.
yeah. Let me
Oh.
keep the knife in my boot.
Okay, he whispers something, but then he goes unconscious.
I tell the robots to capture Miggy. She's harmless, so you don't need to use much force. And help
So
me
what
carry
is-
this guy.
So what's Miggy doing then?
Yeah, I think surrounded by robots and faced with the totally unexpected betrayal. Yeah, no, she's gonna go quietly.
Okay.
I mean, she's gonna get a compact mirror if she can, and then she'll go quietly.
Well, one of the robots will pick it up.
No, sweet.
Yeah, we'll pick it up and hold on to it, and then they will. Yes, and the robots, they'll tie her up, and then they'll start carrying her.
Yep.
So, assuming I can get a line to Dr. Conquest, I hope this has convinced you to meet me face to face, where you
Yes,
can
he's
better
able-
see the despair in their eyes.
Yeah, the Robo Merc with the TV screen is right there, and they're sending a signal, and they got. So yeah. Well done indeed. I do believe we may be able to arrange a meeting.
I believe I would make an excellent addition to your team. As you can see, I'm far superior to any of these idiots.
We can discuss the details later. Okay, then the TV screens goes black, and they the Robo Mercs they go to a nearby truck. Well, They not before long. You all reach a truck. They as they load up Heinrich's unconscious body. They load up Miggy's. They load up Miggy. They let Monty get aboard, and then the truck drives off in the direction of the UN headquarters. So then,
Nah.
Okay. So, is Sergei doing anything while this is going on, or is he just?
So Sergei notices this is taking a while, and he's been monitoring team's comms. So he lands outside, tries a plan B. No, he's still outside, so he tries a plan B. Gets out his mech, or gets out his hovercraft, goes to mech mode, and tries hauling up some dirt where the edge of the shield meets the dirt, because the shield doesn't go underground. He knows that.
Well, you've been trying to monitor the confrontation on the other side.
If
my
he
comms
can,
have
but
long
just in
since
the
been
background.
off.
This isn't a big thing.
Well, I'm saying that because unless you're gonna, initially trying to listen, there's like a cutoff. There's like something jamming it. So unless whoever's in charge of it lets you through, so you can try and break through the jamming to get a B.
No. He just knows this is taking a while. Time for plan B.
Okay, so
the shield doesn't go underground, right?
There is no, as all science have shown, that it doesn't penetrate ground.
Right. So what happens when the ground comes up? He lands outside, gets into hovercraft, goes into mech mode, sticks his mech's hands into the dirt under the shield where the shield meets the dirt, and starts trying to haul up some dirt to try to nudge the shield back a bit. Still not well where he can get through because there's still dirt there, but just trying to nudge it back a little bit.
So you're trying to push the shield up by pushing the dirt up?
Yeah. Getting some stone if necessary. And his plan, if this works, is to push it up, and keep pushing it up until he can create something that only has stone instead of shield that the artillery can shoot through.
So you're trying to create a hole for artillery to shoot through that...
By building a rock bridge dependent on the shield. I'm pretty sure this calls for an awesome roll, does it?
So are you building this out? So did you land near where the...
Yeah, like I said, I landed outside.
Well, did you land near where the US, like the friendly military group is?
I am radioing coordinates so the friendly military group can come around and have the same line of shoot through the same angle or shot that the railgun is going to be shooting through. Attack and paths. So just you guys need to be over here to shoot through here.
Do you have any idea how much time and energy it's going to take to move everything over there?
Move what you can. I'm making the hole. You're going to get one hole.
I swear, for almost anyone else, I would be discarding this entire plan right now as insane.
Do or do not. I make the hole. And with that, Sergei starts making the hole.
Okay.
Awesome roll or just do?
So, to be sure, you're reaching your hands under the ground, underneath the dirt, lifting up the dirt and trying to build a rock hole.
Right. And I'm trying to put rock over rock over rock because this rock hole is going to need to be pretty darn high to hit the spaceship.
Okay, make an awesome roll for trying to push the shield up with dirt lifted off the ground.
And I think that's over the my current bubblegum.
That's just enough to pull off, push the energy shield up with your with the dirt. So you're lifting the shield up, but the shield is going up as you're grabbing on this dirt and pushing up. There's like a hole in the dome, but it's a very unstable hole. Like this shield isn't sure what to make of what is going on.
Okay, Sergei radios to the general. Change of plans. Portal. Come here! I get you in, now!
You're gonna have to give us time. We're trying to move, but it's gonna take a while to get people over there.
I give you what time you have. Get fast units here first. Help me hold portal.
Okay. Let's go back to Spencer.
Yes.
So you're currently in the UN. You're currently in the UN building. You've saved a few ambassadors, and you believe you're in the UN building. What are you currently trying to do?
I'm arming the ambassadors I've saved with the weapons I've salvaged, and I am going to look for more.
Okay, one of them takes the weapon eagerly. The other is really, he's not sure about that at all. He doesn't want to take a weapon and become a target.
I'll take care of the threats in this building. You just, when the time comes, all I need you to do is look threatening. You can leave the safety on if you want.
The ambassador will reluctantly take the weapon, and he will both put the safety on and to try and take out whatever ammo is inside it, so that so that he can easily pull off. He's not actually a threat.
Mm-hmm. And I go stalking through the hallways looking for more robo-mercs and ambassadors to save.
Okay, so you reach an intersection, and as you come up on it, you actually notice there are robo-mercs that are running through a hallway in a different direction. They don't look to the side, but they look like they're going somewhere important.
I follow them at a distance then.
Okay. Are you trying to how are you trying to follow?
Along the ceiling, I guess. I don't know.
Okay. You're climbing you climb up to the ceiling and you're trying to follow along. So make me an awesome roll.
Yeah. I forget what I'm even at this point, too.
Yeah, I have a count of 2.
Well, there we go.
Okay. So yeah, you're able to get up there and you're sneaking around on top like a super spy. Though the 2 ambassadors, if you were to look behind you, you'd notice that no, they're not coming along. They're just gonna hold back there. But anyway,
That's fine.
Anyway, you manage to follow them along, sneak around up above them. While you're going, you actually hear you go down a few hallways and all of that, sneaking around, nobody notices. You actually hear weapons fire from somewhere.
Really?
Up ahead.
All right.
Like the
What
sound
is
of
it?
a battle.
I go towards it.
Okay. And yes, you follow after, you listen to the sound, and eventually you start getting to a section where it's more twisty, like back rooms and all that. And then suddenly you come like smack dab with a robo-merc that's in your face. He raises his weapon, but before
On
he
the
actually does
ceiling?
anything...
On the
What?
ceiling? On the ceiling?
Well, then... Yeah, I'm trying to... let me see. Well,
Did I drop to the ground floor at some point?
Yeah, you're right. My mistake. Yeah, you come along. You're sneaking around the ceiling. And you see one that actually runs back the other direction through these twists, and you see it actually get shot and fall down. And underneath, walking, you actually see General Reason.
I drop down and salute him.
He turns around, aims his weapon, but then he sees it's you. Agent, what are you doing here?
Trying to
Where's the rest of your team?
That's a very good question. I came here in advance, and I don't think my plan panned out the way I wanted it to, but this may still be salvageable.
Well, it's good to see you all the same. He offers his hand out to shake your hand. He looks very relieved to see that you've actually arrived, that you're actually present.
Well, save it until this operation's over, sir. With all due respect.
I've been trying to keep some of the I've been keeping some of the ambassadors hidden safe. He is, as far as I can tell, he wants to get all of them together. Something that's I think he wants to try and force them to prove resolutions that just wouldn't be good.
Uh-huh. I've freed and armed a few in that wing that way.
All right.
Figure there's enough mercs and guns lying around that we could probably arm at least half the dignitaries and form a resistance cell right here.
Well, I appreciate your thinking. I can't in good faith put him in danger like that. I've been trying to keep him safe and hidden. I'll go get the other two, but do you know where the rest of your team is?
Well, if I know my team, Grandpa is being obstinate. Miggy is upset about something. Sergei is being awfully annoying and clever somewhere. And Monty is about to do something that's really going to tick me off.
Well, one moment.
And that's when everybody shows up. Or something, I don't know.
I'm still hoping to get on the ship.
That's what I was hoping to, but...
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Sorry, gotta give it. Well, I'll go get those ambassadors and get them to safety. You try and get up to your base. I don't think they've managed to seize control of it yet, but they're doing darn if they're not trying to.
Mm-hmm.
If I see the rest of your team, I'll make sure to let them know I saw you and send them up that way.
No need. I'll find them myself when the time comes. Besides, I've already been sidetracked once. I may not be in that direction.
Well, if anyone can get us out of this situation, it's the agents, of course.
This one might be trickier.
Oh. Well, you're not wrong about that.
See you in a few, General.
He actually gives Spencer a salute. And then he goes on to find the two ambassadors you left behind.
All right. I guess I start looking for the way up to the course building.
All right. So, just gonna sneak your way up there, or?
Yeah, might as well.
Okay. Yeah. How are you gonna do that as an awesome, or are you gonna just take a mundane take on that?
Mundane. Burn a bubblegum.
Okay.
I think the big guy's so good at sneaking.
All right. So yes, he manages to sneak his way up. He sneaks up on a few guards a few times, but he's able to take them out with no trouble. So anyway, yeah, that gets us back to the group of Monty, Miggy, and Heinrich, who they're brought, and their vehicle, it stops outside the UN building. And at this point, Heinrich, he has a pair of those heavy handcuffs on him as well. And yeah, there's a bunch more robo mercs outside the van, and yeah, they get Heinrich to his feet. They pick up Miggy to carry her, and they're basically indicating for Monty to lead the way into the building.
Is Heinrich away again?
Yeah, he's conscious again.
He's just gonna move his right foot around a bit in his boot to check if his army knife is still in position.
Well, yeah, nobody. I mean, if it was hidden there, nobody's checked for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just making sure to see if Monty has betrayed him or is just playing to be betrayed.
So
why are we here?
You are
I
you
ask.
are here. You are here to discuss terms of joining, and yep. Sorry. Yeah, basically, we are here to discuss terms of your defection and joining Dr. Conquest's forces.
So is he in the building?
Dr. Conquest is in his ship.
So why aren't we there?
We have to go up there. We are going through here.
Okay. That makes sense. Well, I know this building pretty well. We can get at the top floor pretty quickly.
You will lead the way to course headquarters, and you will assist us in seizing control.
I'll lead you there. I'll turn off the defenses, but then you take me to the ship.
A meeting will follow after you help us seize control of your former headquarters.
I can't do everything for you.
One of the Robomercs will kind of point its weapon in a way suggests you're going to be doing whatever they tell you to if you want us to believe that, if you want to keep going with this. Like, they're not. They believe it, but there's always the question of you switch sides. You're kind of still on a probationary period in a sense.
Yeah, all right. Anyway, just follow me.
Okay, so they walk you through the halls until you reach a special looking elevator that's labeled. It's got a big course headquarters label on the front of the elevator doors, and then everyone loads up, and they're on the other side, and they please enter your security access.
And I do that.
Okay, and the elevator is on its way up to course headquarters.
Inside, Heinrich gives like a short hand sign to tell Monty he's ready to give us whatever backup he can provide in case this goes.
I am absolutely ignoring it.
Okay, so after a ride up the elevator, you arrive. The door opens, and you're basically in the entryway to course headquarters. Like I don't know what the name for it is. It's like lobby. The lobby for course headquarters. And there are red lights blaring. Intruder alert! Intruder alert!
Override code blah blah blah.
Agent Richard Montgomery the Third. There are enemy forces with you. Please explain.
They've defected and are under our control.
You say what?
They've defected and are under our control.
The Robomercs look at you.
I give them a look saying, do you want the system? I give them a look, and not actually saying it, but giving them a look to imply, do you want the security off or not?
They look at each other, but then, yes, they, why are why are agents Mayer and White being held captive?
Because we had to look. It had to look realistic coming up here. Don't worry about it.
Should they not be freed now?
Don't worry about it.
It is my responsibility to worry.
Just shut up, Carol.
Well, that's rude.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
I don't think Heinrich is the most polite of as proven this whole session long.
Yeah. Yes.
See,
Carol
he's
is
fine.
actually caught off guard by that for a moment. Agent White, Miggy, is everything all right? Xencarn?
Oh, yep. Sorry, what was that?
Yes. After a few moments of silence, Carol says, Agent White, Miggy, is everything all right?
Actually, I'm pretty sure we're being betrayed, but I'm not totally sure what's going on right now.
Yeah, she just. You know how gullible she is. She believes anything anyone tells her.
There's another silence. Please, if the enemy units are truly under your control, please free Miggy. Please free Agent White and allow her to assist you in taking the enemy units to holding.
We're actually going to the roof so that they can take me to the ship.
Are we? Is that what's going on?
That's what
I'm
I'm
like,
doing.
Yes.
They want you to take control of the office first, so.
Yeah, I'm giving them the ability to do so that they can do it while part of them escort me to the ship.
Wow. Okay. So there's okay. Yes, there's a lot of confusion between both Carol and the Robo Mercs right at the moment. Where
Yeah.
sorry, I've actually kind of lost myself right now.
Is there really not a manual override?
So how about
To the
Spencer?
to the
Okay,
rope to the Mercs or Carol? Heinrich just
Carol.
asked.
considering Miggy's stupidity, there'd have to be something someone's put in there to turn Carol off. Because she would absolutely be using Carol to do all kinds of ridiculous stuff all the time.
Yeah, Carol would have a safety override system. Yeah. 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 Sorry. The yeah, there. Yeah, Carol. Yeah, that Carol would have a safety override system of some kind. But probably require more than just one person to activate it.
Well, I tell Heinrich to help me deactivate her.
Heinrich just gestures towards his handcuffs.
Yeah,
Somehow.
you can still use your hands in those, right? And also,
Yeah, but
you
you need to
need to
turn
use
2
your
keys
hands.
per person. Remember?
Yeah, but you can still turn a key with handcuffs on.
But I can't reach far enough to each key. as he tries to move his hands out of apart from each other.
Right, but we each get a key.
Well, what you'd need to do is go like the computer control room, and well, there'd either be like a voice activated system, or you can go to like the computer control room to do the.
Yeah. Anyway, you don't need to get your hands free. You just need to say your override code.
Fine.
Okay, so yeah, you both do that then.
Yep.
Okay, so
Yep.
then yeah, the red lights turn off, and there's like a shutdown noise that there's a noise signaling that Carol has kind of gone into down sleep mode. So
All right. You guys got free reign. Let's go see your boss.
Okay. All right. Yes. Before long, more soldiers, people pour into it, and yes, the group of you are led up to the spaceship.
All right. Finally getting somewhere.
What have I been doing while this has been going on?
Well, you've been trying to sneak up to headquarters,
Okay.
I believe. You've been you were able to get up there successfully. It's just a matter of when you appear in there.
Ah, so when do I appear?
Hopefully after we've left.
So I have to clean up after your mess? That's my job in this?
Exactly.
Actually, you're actually yeah. Well, I'm wondering if this causes more of if you were to get up there before they did, and you're hiding in there somewhere in course headquarters somewhere.
I have a feeling if that happened, he would have jumped out and attacked.
Yeah, probably.
Okay. Yeah, you arrive after after the enemies have started pouring into the course headquarters.
Okay, I got this. I opened the door to course headquarters in a mundane way.
Okay, you enter. Well, I mean, just going into there doesn't require a roll. Like if you if you sneak up and you go in there, that's.
I try to sneak in through the front door of
When you
course
see
headquarters.
there's a bunch of when it's occupied.
Yep.
Okay, yes, you sneak. Yes. So, are you burning your last bubblegum then?
No, I'm just gonna roll for a mundane action.
Okay.
Oh, look at that! I failed.
Okay. So yeah, you sneak in, but they happen to notice.
I try to sneak in at first, and then I just give up halfway and just kick the door down.
Yeah, and pretty soon everyone knows you're there, and there's another alarm siren signaling that you are there. And this is just as this is just as the other three are outside and are about to head up to the UFO, head up to the spaceship.
Well, I'm here to destroy mechs and chew bubblegum, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
Okay, so I presume you're gonna go tearing through them then.
Yes.
All right. So, given that you're all out of it, I mean, you do it in an awesome way, but it's basically assured that you do that. Yeah, there's no trouble that you tear through these things.
I just crack my knuckles and then cut to.
Yes, there's a few shots of him doing awesome stunts as he tears through them. Meanwhile, outside where the other three are, the TV screen activates and Dr. Congress is there. Hello, Monty. Now, as my latest minion, I would appreciate it It is my understanding that one of your compatriots has recently entered the building. I'd appreciate it if you would go capture him for me, the way you have your other two former friends.
You don't think your robots can take him? You certainly have a lot more faith in him than I do.
Well, it would just make me feel better if you could go help bring the collection closer to completion.
You know, you asked for 1. I brought you 2. Now you want 3. But whatever. You're the boss.
You're right, I am the boss.
You head back down there, and it's just like the headquarters is empty, and I'm just like brushing off steel dust off my knuckles.
Yeah.
And I was like, there you are. Let's get going.
Hey. Yeah. I guess.
You're pulling the old switcheroo?
Just put some handcuffs on.
I hate those. Not again. Just like give me a rope or something.
Yeah, all right. Whatever.
There's got to be some rope around here somewhere. And then I follow him back up.
And when you get up, there is like there's a bunch more there. There's like a couple more like flying ships that have landed on that, like landed in the hangar area, and a bunch more robo-mercs. You know, as much as I appreciate, easy victory, I can't help like that was maybe a bit too easy. Seriously, your compatriot breaks.
No, he's just that much better than you.
I mean, come on. He fought how many robots? Of course he's going to be tired. Besides, I'm far superior than any of these people. Could beat them with my eyes closed.
Yeah, at that point...
You want to put that to the test? Heinrich offers.
You see, I would, but you're not really in a position to fight me right now. And I'm not stupid enough to let you out of those handcuffs.
Well, all right, get on board.
Thank you.
A question, is this actually the doctor in person?
No, this was still the video screen. So you all get up and you get on the aircraft and you fly up to the spaceship and then unload. But inside the spaceship, you're actually inside an energy dome.
Wow. It's like an onion. Plenty of layers.
It's a big hangar. As far as you can, it's like a big hangar. You're definitely inside the main part of the spaceship where there's a lot of other aircraft and all that.
Yeah, but there's an energy dome within an energy dome. Layers.
Well, so the screen turns on. All right, then.
Coward.
Yeah, the Nazis at least had the honor of gloating to our faces when they tried to beat us.
The energy shield dissipates, and then they start leading you. And they lead you through the spaceship, and as you go, there's more of the robo-mercs that are joining until you're finally led up to the bridge. And there you see on the far end, and there's a whole lot more robo-mechs. On the far end, there's Dr. Conquest, and far closer is Miss Slaywell.
Well, how do you do?
I believe I'm doing quite well, thank you.
Afternoon, miss.
She doesn't say anything.
I glare at her.
It seems that my victory is almost complete. I have 4 agents, of course, and and as soon as I capture the remaining UN and ambassadors, my plan will be complete.
Sure. At this point, I would like to make a mundane roll to pull out I hope it's the mundane roll, to pull out the Swiss Army knife and use the screwdriver to just disassemble the handcuffs.
That sounds like it'd be leaning more towards an awesome roll.
Yeah.
Sure, I can roll
I
an
mean,
awesome roll for that as well.
With all the robots that are, with all the enemies that are in the room. Oh, did you? Okay, yes, you.
Six, yeah.
Yes, all of a sudden, in one smooth motion, this knife comes up, and using whatever you've got on you, you manage to send the handcuffs flying up into the air, and
I was imagining more just loosening all the screws and just having them fall to the ground in pieces.
Okay, yeah, okay. In one smooth motion, it comes up, and next thing you know, the handcuffs have dropped, and everyone, all the bad guys in the room are like shocked, like, what just happened?
I just pull my arms apart and explode the rope off my wrists.
So,
Yes.
are we currently on the bridge?
Yes, you are currently on the bridge,
Okay.
and with that, there's basically a battle has broken out where everyone is now firing on you, and Dr. Conquest is shouting orders to stop them. He's even shouting orders to Monty to stop them.
If I can make an interrupt with an awesome check.
What are you?
Hold on. I'd like to burn a bubblegum to navigate the spaceship out to open waters during the confusion.
Okay, well, first you need to get to the controls, because you're like in this. You're on the far side of the bridge right now from. So, you can use a roll.
I can make an awesome check to do that first, and then burn the bubblegum.
Yeah, you could do that. So make a roll to awesomely get.
But what do you know? A success.
Yes, you awesomely get across the room. You're doing like awesome kung fu moves as you're dodging around robots and beating them up, and like nobody can touch you until you finally get to the controls. And then you said you burn your last piece of bubblegum?
Yep. I burn the bubblegum to get to open waters.
Yes. Then suddenly
where it can explode without damaging the city.
Yes. The ship suddenly turns and it starts moving.
Of course, I deactivate the shield too.
Okay. Yeah. No! How can this be happening?
Because you're an idiot. That's why.
Also, we're agents, of course.
Yeah,
Oh, that took long enough.
And actually, that makes a good point for the interrupt I had planned. So just a flashback. So Sergei's mech was holding open a portal. Earth's moving equipment arrives, stabilizing the portal. Sergei salutes the general, who's finally got there. As the general starts moving his hardware in, Sergei links the other 4 vehicles of the agents to his mech, because, well, his mech was designed to haul them, and starts climbing up the inside of the shield, which, being covered in snow, is completely black. Nobody sees him. He gets up to...
Just a short note, Heinrich's mech is completely shot from when he tried to bust through the shield.
Yeah, his mech's kind of out of it right now.
Okay, the other 3 mechs then.
Okay.
Just hardware is going to be useful. And he drops in. He drops in as he sees the shield about to dissipate right onto the spaceship, crashing into the party with the mechs for everyone who wants them, except for Heinrich.
Okay, I'm gonna definitely need an awesome roll for that. Okay,
what do you know?
Yes.
Success.
Yes, you managed to pull off the maneuver of driving straight up the inside of that wall in an
climbing up, ninja in a mech. I had this on his background.
Oh, right. Yes, you climb up in like a running fashion.
So with 4/5 of a Voltron, you start climbing up to the top of the shield dome,
and then jump off on top of the spaceship.
Yes, you managed to pull off an awesome leap with a bunch of turns in the air. Like in this mech, it would be enough to make an Olympic gymnast jealous.
Right.
Before finally landing in a perfect landing on top of the ship.
And I hand out the vehicles and look for the biggest threat that needs punching.
Well, you're on the outside of the ship. They're on the inside still.
Okay, I start clawing my way into the ship as best I can.
Okay, make me a roll on that. Either, I mean,
1d10 because I'm using my velocity to just barrel down and punch and smash
okay, yeah.
right in.
So, can we say that at this point comms are back up and everyone's aware of everything that's going on?
Yes, communication has been restored, but trying to like bounce in and dive through, you got under, so that actually you bounce off the hull of the shield when trying to dive through it.
Okay, so the shields didn't quite come down in time for me to smash through, so I'm now above the ship.
You're on top of the ship, and the mechs are and the machines are kind of scattered.
You failed to break through the internal shield that's protecting the ship.
The whole.
Right.
So, I'm going to tell everyone inside to, hey, your mechs are on top of the ship. I suggest you get to them and bail.
Though
I doubt that.
The shield is off now, so they all through their suits and that they have an indication that they have a link to their machines again.
Yeah, the shield was just up long enough to stop my punch.
Okay.
So, you guys get to your vehicles and bail, because this thing is going to go down soon.
There's still something I need to grab, Heinrich says as he takes his sword from whichever guard disarmed him, and then just draws it and cleaves his way through it till he reaches the doctor, taking them and tries to take him hostage.
Dr. Conquest is trying to escape, and notably, Miss Slaywell is trying to cover for him.
Heinrich takes quite a big way around her to instead cut off the doctor, or at least he attempts.
Okay, make a awesome roll for that. Nope, not quite.
Yeah.
So yeah, you try to get to him, but she, in a surprisingly impressive display, considering especially how she's dressed, she manages to get in the way and trip him up.
It's not nice of you. Shouldn't a lady be polite?
And well, if you care about politeness, then I'm sure you would have no thoughts about fighting me.
Well, yes, it's not right to hit a lady.
Well, I'm glad on that we can agree. And with that, she tries to escape to further cover. She tries to escape after Dr. Conquest.
Heinrich just pulls off whatever hat he's wearing in a meeting. After all, he has enough manners to be nice to the ladies.
Okay. So yes, this ship is floating away from the city. You're all tearing through the rope. You're all tearing through the forests, and before long, it is safely where it is no longer on top of the city.
But seriously, you guys should all get out of here right now. Because
Sure.
not much time left until the railgun's fully charged.
Yeah, we'd all just leave.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
how are you getting off the ship then?
Good question. Probably in an awesome
Jump
way. 'Cause,
off.
Well, I'd say get to the roof and get in your mechs, those of you who have them.
Yeah, anyone with an X is just gonna get in that and jump.
He's probably just looking out for looking down into the harbor and spots a decently sized sailing ship, jumps off and just cuts. And as he reaches it, stabs his sword into the sail and just slows his descent onto the deck.
That's definitely going to require an awesome roll. Yep, you pull off the seemingly impossible feat of leaping off the ship through the sky and saving yourself by way of a sailing ship that you happen to see and is in just the right position.
And it has to be tiny because there's no giant sailing ships anymore.
And
It's
ultimately,
probably some kind of museum ship or something.
Which
it
you have
ultimately
now
redirects you so that
vandalized.
you fly. So you do a secondary flight through the air and do a perfect dive into the water.
What?
So,
Anyway.
all right. So then, yeah, everyone, make me. Yeah. Okay. So yeah.
Sergei's eye out
Yeah.
for the escaping doctor to try to catch him.
Well, no, he's already gone. So yeah, everyone make one last roll to. I mean, everyone other than Heinrich make, well, except for Richard and just Wingcat and Xencarn make rolls for escaping the ship. Then either awesome or mundane. Tell me how you're doing that, and then roll.
Right. Probably mundane. I mean, I'm literally just getting in the mech and jumping. I'm not doing anything particularly special.
Yeah, Sergei looks around, finds that the doctor's already escaped in all the confusion, harumphs, and then just kicks off the spaceship, comes down, doing the Iron Man rocket down on a hovercraft engines to slow his descent.
All right,
It may be a straight shot, but it is one of the shots that appears in the trailer for this. If there
I mean, it's not a movie, so
was a trailer, like I said, if there were trailers,
There
for
would
this,
still be like a next
Might have been
episode
like
teaser
the
in the episode
preview.
before this.
yeah. And possibly it was one of the shots they showed in the next season, back when they ended season 2.
Yeah, well, it'd be one of the shots that they'd show in future seasons to say, hey, this show is coming back. So yes, everyone leaps off the ship, then that's when the cannon fires.
I stay on at the last moment to make sure I stay on until the last moment to make sure no one tries to redirect the ship.
The shot hits right where it needs to. And what? Did you want to do something?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Let's see. So I get in my mech, which is just sort of like this, kind of mech suit that kind of arranges around me out of like the parts of my Jeep. And it has hands that shoot out and extend with cables to pull them back. At the last second, just before I'm about to jump off, I reach back and I shoot one of my big robo hands at Monty.
Okay. Are you trying to grab me or punch me?
Grab you.
I was planning to just dive off the ship.
Well, you need.
It looks like you're making a sacrifice here. So.
Well, not quite. It's gonna look like it, but then it turns out I actually survived.
Well.
Well,
I'm here expecting Spencer to just also shout, "No man is gonna be left behind" as he does this.
Yeah, something like that.
I should note that. Both Monty and Spencer would need to be getting off in an awesome fashion since they're all out of bubblegum.
Yeah, clearly. So basically, what I'm thinking of is you don't actually see Monty at the end of the episode. Like, the ship explodes and all that stuff, but Monty's nowhere to be seen.
What I'm thinking is that instead of that, since we're not gonna, I don't know if we're gonna be coming back to this setting.
Oh, absolutely not.
It looks like we're this episode setting up for a tragic, heroic, sacrificial death. But at the last minute, Spencer just comes in and saves the day there.
Yeah, my thinking was the next episode, or the premiere of season 4, or I think, right? Because this is the season 3 finale.
It's the season 3 finale.
Yeah, so the premiere of season 4, it shows the scene of Monty jumping off right before it explodes and being propelled downwards faster by the explosion and just barely making it into the harbor and surviving.
Well, is he trying? Is he trying to make it appear like he's sacrificing himself, or what?
No, I just feel like it would make it create more tension for the TV show.
Yeah, well, and then I save you at the last second.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if nothing else, the two of you could roll opposing checks on this.
Nah, I just wanted it to be so like the viewers at the end of at the end of season 3, they think Monty died, but then in season 4,
Well,
he's not.
for a show like this right now, they're not going to end it with a question of was he killed
Okay.
in. Yeah, just
All right,
I get what you're going for. I can understand it and appreciate it. It just doesn't seem like it does.
So I guess Spencer grabs me then.
All right,
That's fine.
and so then
And then I jump out of the ship and then use my other cable hand to grab onto something and swing down onto land.
And as you're all jumping off, in that moment, it goes back to the sniper rifle that was set up earlier. That's when it fires. It hits the ship right at the right moment, right in the right place. And there's a big explosion off one side of this spaceship. And then the fiery explosion that's behind them as everyone's falling out of the sky. And the ship kind of slowly goes down, and it goes back down into the ocean off the coast of New York City. And one by one, everyone lands safely on the street, except for Heinrich, who already landed in the ocean.
So I turn to Spencer and say, "And here I thought you hated me."
Hated that drama queen act you were pulling, so sorry for ruining that.
It worked, didn't it?
Not sure it did, to be honest. I'm not sure how much of any of that worked.
I mean, I got us on board the ship.
All right, so then it's not much longer where everyone is assembled together again, including Heinrich, who's sopping wet. There's the scene of, they're cleaning up the city.
Wait, why would Heinrich be wet? He landed on the deck of the ship.
He went from the ship into the water.
I mean, he landed.
When? How?
He reached the ship, but then he was from there. It kind of flung him, and he did a perfect dive into the water.
Wait, huh? Okay, that's neither what I said nor what I thought I'd do. But
well, you were falling out of the sky, and you wanted to catch onto the ship.
Yeah, stab the knife through the sail and just to slow his fall onto the deck. Like in every pirate movie ever.
Well, at which
Sure.
Okay, all right. Well, and then as he's sailing the ship back, a piece of exploding ship lands on the ship to start to sink.
Sure.
So, anyways, the five of them are gathered together again. There's work being shown that they're clearly in the process of cleaning up the city. And then they're approached by General Reason, who comes before them, and he salutes them. Agents, once again, the city and the world are in your debt.
It was nothing.
Heinrich salutes back and just says, "Well, it's just our job."
Of course.
Then that signals a laugh line, and then cut to that's the end of the episode.
Roll credits.
Yeah. Sorry it went on for as long as it did.
I'm a little disappointed I didn't get a chance to say, well, of course, who do you think I am?
Well.
But, oh well.
I did, yeah, I part of me thought it would go quicker, but sorry, I did not properly prepare for time.
We got there.
I'm perfectly fine with it.
Yeah.
It's only not even 1 hour over calculated time, so.
Well,
Fine. I personally expect everything to go from 5 to 9, so we're about 10 minutes before I thought we'd end.
All right. Do we need to make any final comments to cut the stream, newbie?
Oh, yeah, I should probably do the thing. I completely forgot to pull that up, so here we go, my closing spiel. Thank you for listening to our Spudventures. If you like what you heard, you can find more at youtube.com/Newbiespud or spudventures.libsyn.com or on your podcast portal of choice. I believe it should be on iTunes and hopefully Google Play Music as well. soon. We aim to live stream these games every Sunday around 2 p.m. Pacific at twitch.tv/Newbiespud. If you want to keep up with any notifications about this or other projects I'm doing, you can follow me on Twitter at Newbiespud. And if you want to support my ability to produce more content like this, please support me at patreon.com/Newbiespud. See you next time with what I think will be the Forgotten One Session 5, I think. Yeah. Thanks for listening. And thank you, Space Jawa, for running this.
You're welcome.